Welcome. At this time, we're going to call forward Mr. Troy Dewald. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Carl Schwartz, the president of MIRA.
Well, hi, everybody. Again, we sure appreciate everybody being understanding of the weather. What a difference a week makes. So we've got perfect racing conditions here today in Lincoln, Michigan. Overcast and this light breeze, it couldn't get any better. We got a great field of sleds, and we've got a great guy standing next to me that I've known, what do you think, in 40 years maybe? Troy Dewald is a legend in our sport. He's been somebody we've all chased at one point or another around the racetrack. He's won countless MIRA championships, countless races, world championships at Eagle River. I think the only thing he hasn't won is probably a kitty cat championship, and maybe you've won one of those too, for all we know.
Nope.
No, you didn't do that. But Troy, on behalf of MIRA and everybody here who's a big fan of yours, we sure appreciate all of the things you've given us, and you've made a lot of fun to watch racing and race against you. We've got a little memento of our appreciation, honoring your historic career in the sport of snowmobile racing. You've raced for the Cataract team. Greg is here today. I'm sure he feels the same way I do, don't you, Greg? Artie Cat, I know, has been awful proud of you over the years, too. Anyway, please say something to everybody here who thinks you're all right.
MIRA's been awesome to me over the years. Obviously, we've been really successful. Lucky, I call it. And it's been like a big family, racing with all these guys and people that you can trust on the racetrack. That means a lot to us when they're doing 100 mile an hour alongside somebody. So MIRA's been just awesome. It's an awesome organization. It's still growing today, getting bigger and bigger. And these guys do a heck of a job putting these races on and keeping everybody safe. And the guy like me at my age, I really appreciate that because now I can walk away from this healthy. And I appreciate everything you guys do, Carl. I appreciate it.
We do too. So with that, we're going to have Troy pace the field today as a commemorative lap. And again, we're all going to cheer for him and wish him well. And is there anything else in store for you coming? We can see in a stock car, on a moped. What's next? You got to be racing something.
Yeah, I'm gonna still race my sprint stuff on Saturdays, and then I'll help my son or whoever needs help. I like helping people, so good. I like doing setups, and yeah, I'll still be around the racetrack. So
we're going to see you around the racetrack. That means a lot to all of us. Again, everybody, can we give them a round of applause? Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Carl.
Okay. We'll see you.
All right, if you'll follow me, Mr. Reams, we'll make our way back to center stage. Oh, thank you, sir. All righty. We are getting preparations for our final opening ceremonies, which are being brought to you by Mid-Michigan Honor Flight. We thank them for their sponsorship today. Our honor guard, ladies and gentlemen, is made up of veterans still serving their country as they present our colors. There we go. We got a volunteer to hold the banner. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please join me in a moment of prayer. Lord, I pray as I race today, keep me safe along the way. Not only me, but others too, as they perform the jobs they do. I know, God, that in a race, I, the driver, must set the pace. But in this race of life, I pray, help me, Lord, along the way. Although I know I am a sinner, help me to believe that with God, I am always a winner. Amen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Gentlemen, remove your headgear unless you are in full military uniform. We're going to render the hand salute as we pay tribute to the countries performing here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Canada.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne national du Canada.
True patriot love in all thy sons
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne national des États-Unis d'Amérique.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United States of America.
All right, let's get down to one driver, one crew member. One driver, one crew member. Everybody else, please make your way off the track. One driver, one crew member will get this underway for you, ladies and gentlemen. The Michigan Kenworth 250 coming up soon. One driver, one crew. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We got a race to run. That Michigan Painter pace sled is getting ready. Led by the Iron Man, Troy Dewald. Everybody, please be careful going up those hills. Exercise extreme caution. All right, we are just about there. Just want to make sure those folks do clear the track so they're nice and safe. Go ahead and put her on camera.
Let's let a lady do it.
It's hot right now, so hold on. We'll make sure we get quick here. All right.
Drivers, start your engines.
All right, we are ready to go. Sleds have started. Nate Dreyer, Spanky Robinson with you up top. Chris Reams down pit side. They're going to get the starting order all sorted out right here, and we are going to get ready for the final 250 laps of the season. And as you can see, getting ready to lead the field to green, Troy Dewald is going to get a moment to outpace the field. But here we go. What a race. We've had such incredible racing already, Spanky, today, and I can only imagine how this one's going to live up to that.
You know what? It's a perfect day here. The track is in very good condition. We got all the top riders here. We've had a great season. We've seen great racing wherever we've been, right from the first one at Kinross at the speed park up there, down to Gaylord, a fantastic race down in Gaylord. Just been unbelievable racing here now. The I-500 was a fantastic race day, and as well, today should be no different here. We got all the big teams here ready to go. It's going to be exciting times, Nate.
And the championship battle certainly will come to the forefront here today, and it starts on the front row. You could not set it up any better. The 57, Zack Dewald and Larry Young with an ill James Hicks today will start on the pole. They start 58 points back of Jordan Carlson. LJ Quick, who will start to their outside, and a great look here at Troy Dewald.
Look at Troy Dewald taking a lap here in that Cataract Collision Artie Cat. Boy, I'll tell you what, Algray, Michigan, the hometown of this gentleman, and just a lot of memories that he has created over the years racing. He's won it all. He's won the I-500 3 times, 12 times on the pole up there. Many wins here in the MIRA race circuit, both in the sprint sled and in the enduro racing, and on board that Cataract Collision Artie Cat there. What a great sight here as he takes a final lap here.
Yeah, absolutely. What a privilege that we get a chance to see the end of his career. Last week on Saturday, he went to victory lane a couple times as well, so he was able to go out on a high note, and there are the championship combatants that will start this race, including Troy's son, Zach, who will be a part, of course, of that battle. Nick Wickerham, Drake McCullough on the second row, Ryan McKaig on the Furky 54, and on the 28, looks like that's Cam Vermash that'll get the start for that team.
A lot of the heavy hitters up in the front part of the field here, Nate. It's going to be a real good start here as Dewald goes around, Troy Dewald goes around, everybody waving a checkered flag here to honor the man here, and got to be special. Your boy starting on the pole here at a race that you're honoring himself here today. That's got to be so special to see his son starting on the pole, the fastest rider here in the Michigan Kenworth 250.
And it's got to be special, but the storyline for that team with James Hicks out, Larry Young there, he slated to be and will be the starting driver for that team as well. Talked to Zach this morning about that. I mean, it adds one more complexity. We know Larry's really quick, but it breaks up that duo of Dewald and Hicks that we've seen dominate so much.
Well, tough luck for James Hicks. I'm sure not here, probably on board. Tough luck, James. Not feeling up to snuff there. So, boy, that's a big loss for that team. Those two guys are two of the best out there. But Larry Young, he's a great substitute rider in there. So he'll do a good job with that team.
Yeah, certainly, and he's going to be in quite the battle. Jordan Carlson, LJ Quick. LJ Quick, one of the guys that helped build this racetrack for that Who's Racing Championship competing team out of Alpena, Michigan, from right down the road. So certainly we are going to have our eye on that team. It's a hometown team for Who's Racing. What a chance for them to capture a championship at their home track.
Yeah, they come in here points leaders too on that Who's Racing 67 there. They've had a great season. And we've seen a lot of really close races. There's a lot of machines that can certainly take home the checkered flag here today in the Michigan Kenworth 250. Track conditions are absolutely beautiful here. The temperature's great, and it's going to be a good one.
Great look right there at the field going by. The 77 team just saw the hand signal there from Rocky Bouverette. What a story for the Brownlee boys as well, getting to pair Rocky and Haven Bouverette together. That's a really fun story to watch today.
Yeah, that's awesome. Rocky with his daughter Haven Bouverette on board that 77. The Brownlee boys, that's a good looking, good running sled there, that Polaris that they're on board. So yeah, what a story that they'll make the start here as a team, father and daughter.
Yeah, certainly a big one. Field is coming into alignment. We are getting ready to go green here at the Michigan Kenworth 250. Currently still following that Michigan Painter pace sled. And when that pulls off, it is going to be time to rock and roll. 250 laps, a half-mile circuit. And we have already seen some great racing on a perfect type track conditions throughout the junior program, and I think these boys are ready to put on a show, and girl are ready to put on a show for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a dandy. Look at that view there. Just what a vision, what a sound here at this half mile. One of the fast tracks in the MIRA race circuit here. But, you can see your chief starter out there with some pre-race directions here. Everybody put some heat into the engines and getting the butterflies. Imagine the butterflies probably pretty good right now before you get going. I'm sure that that'd be the case if you talk to a lot of these guys. Just want to see that flag drop and get underway.
Another late story, saw the camera on them a moment ago, but the Pichet team starting kind of a young gun sled. Aaron Celestino, Jack Henderson, Mike Kenzer, three of their kind of future drivers that we've seen a lot, in some of the semi-pro competition, but those three guys going to pair on a last-minute morning entry on a second Pichet sled. It'll be fun to watch that talented group of kids go at it.
Well, it's all about all about getting experience in this enduro circuit here, and that's certainly the case. These young riders, probably not super high expectations, but they'll get out there and they'll get laps under race conditions here. So,
all right, the field getting ready to go. Everyone will be following the 57. Larry Young starts. Zack Dewald qualified to the green flag here this morning.
Perfect conditions here today. The visibility is going to be fantastic out here with the warmer temperatures and the track. Boy, I tell you, we got to thank that track crew for building a great track here. We'll mention them later on in the show here, but they did a fantastic job, laid a lot of water down, built a beautiful track for this race.
Yeah, 25 sleds with us. The third place starter, the DL 29, moving up a position because the Novak 24 scratched last night, so now the second row of the 29 and the 13. You see Drake McCullough to the outside of Nick Wickerham as McCullough gets the start. He, of course, paired with Colin Henderson. The field in the control of the Mickey's Factory Racing 57. Michigan Painter LLC pace sled pulls off 250 laps in Lincoln. It's the final race of the year. The championship is on. Let's go.
Look at everybody heads down to that first corner. Everybody... Larry Young Jr. Out front on that Mickey's Factory sled, number 57, down the back straightaway into a nice lead there. Look at the battle for second and third. It's pretty tight as they head down towards turn 3.
Yeah, he's able to get the good jump and work his way out front. You can see out of all that chaos, the 28 has, with Cam Vermash, come out in the second spot. So Vermash from the 8th place starting position now runs second out of the mess. Wow,
Cam Vermash on that Countryside Motorsports Polaris rocketed off. There's the battle for third there. That Hoos Racing, LJ Quick on board in the 21 entry. Austin Leak, I believe, on board that one. There's the Cataract Collision Artie Cat. That's the battle for that 4th spot.
Leak, the starting driver, he already has made some good moves. They started 5th, and they have found their way up into the top 3 positions right now. The Mickey's Factory 57 leads the way, and then that hard-charging Countryside 28 running second.
There's a look now at, you can see that Furky Racing 54, Ryan McCaig on board that one as they head down that back long straightaway there, now head towards turn 3. The Hoos Racing machine starting to fall back a little bit now as McCaig will challenge him for that spot. Jordan Carlson on board that Hoos machine.
Remember, 58 points, the championship deficit coming into the race. That was the lead for the 67 team. So as they lose some spots here at the start, that certainly could become a very, very big story. But that Furky 54, Ryan McCaig, last week they had announced that he planned on doing the race on his own. We expect that could be a case. Eric Simon is here with him today, but I mean, McCaig, potentially a very long afternoon ahead of him.
Yeah, Larry Young doing a good job. The leader here is subbing in for James Hicks, not feeling up to snuff this morning, so Larry Young jumps on board that Mickey's Factory 57 sled, replacing James Hicks. the Hessel, Michigan rider. There's a good look at Larry Young there, the 28 machine. Cameron Spencer on board that one, really doing a good job. And Austin Leak now starting to challenge Spencer for that second position.
And Leak, after starting back on the third row, looking for P2, and a caution flag is out with 5 laps in the books, and it's an issue in turn number 4. You can see a couple of sleds potentially down.
Yeah, some couple sleds down on that one. The caution flag flies here.
There is, we're going to keep the camera back. There is one rider off of the sled right there after the incident. We'll wait on the identification. It is the 26 sled, though, that has had the issue and the incident to the outside of turn 4 that has brought out our first caution 5 laps in.
The caution flag flies here as the crew to the attention of the rider of that 26 machine. Didn't see what had happened there, but the field slowed down here now and in behind that pace sled, the Michigan Painter pace sled out onto the track there. Now the Raider, good to see, up to his knees there now and moving slightly.
So a big hit there for the 26 and for starting driver Ryan Wolf, as he's going to get some medical assistance, but good to see he is at least back up to his feet after the big tumble that he took.
Yeah, that's always good to see the rider under his own power there. He'll get him into that side by side and get him back and get him looked at there now. Tough luck for that number 26 machine, Ryan Wolf, the rider on board that Polaris.
So a tough incident 5 laps in that appears to have taken out the JB Performance 26 right off the jump, as the medical team continuing to talk right now with Ryan as the field goes by.
Jan out there, the medical nurse for the MIRA Race Network here, and she's out just attending to Ryan Wolf. We'll get him in that side-by-side and take him back for a closer look back pit side there, as they'll tow that number 26 back pit side now. 5 laps completed. Larry Young Jr., your leader on board that Mickey's factory sled, that number 57. Young jumped on board that machine today as tough luck for the original rider James Hicks, sick today, so Larry Young the replacement on there.
Thumbs up there from Rocky Bouverette on the Brownlee Boys 77. So with 243 laps remaining under the caution flag, let's run them down quickly. Leading the way, the 57 for Mickey's Factory Sled. Second, the 28 for Countryside Racing. Third, the 21 for Cataract Collision, the Articat. Fourth, the Furky Racing 54 Polaris. Fifth, the 67 for Who's Racing. Sixth, the 29 for DL Racing. 7, the 13 for Pichet. Eighth, the Harris Racing 43. Ninth place, the R&R 20. 10, the Town Brothers Racing number 2. That is your top 10. Good start for the Town Brothers as well, as Matt Town started in 15th and has found his way into the top 10.
Yeah, that's Skidoo. Good run in Skidoo, the only Skidoo in the field here today, but it's a strong one there. The Town boys always put a good machine on the track out of Traverse City, Michigan.
So the Felsky Farms, Mickey's Factory Sleds 57 leads the way. They come in second in points. It's been an interesting up and down season for that team. 14th and Kinross had an issue. We're on the pole for the I-500. They finally picked up a win last time out at Gaylord in pretty dominant fashion. It's been an interesting up and down season, but the one thing you haven't been able to debate with the 57 team is that they've had the speed. They just didn't need to put it together throughout the whole race.
Yeah, they had some gremlins earlier in the season there, and I shook that off with that win and a couple weeks back, and certainly strong start here. Larry Young, good job jumping on that machine and able to hold on to the lead here just 5 laps in.
Yeah, certainly you wonder what the balance between he and Zack Dewald is going to be on that sled today, and how much we're going to see Dewald running as we're getting close to coming back to the green flag. How about the start for the 28, though, for Cam Vermash, going from the 8th position to now the outside of the front row. Vermash with that neon helmet on, paired with Eric Churchill, but that team's certainly an impressive start. They've had another team. They've had the speed. They just need to put it together. They were on the pole in Gaylord.
Cameron Rash, he's a good, real good young rider out there, and he got the opportunity to jump on that 28, and he's really come forward there. So you can see now Larry Young just dragging his foot to put some snow dust up into the heat exchangers on that Mickey's factory sled, number 57 there. Ryan McKaig up there now in that second row on the outside in that Furky Racing 54 alongside of Austin Leak in the Cataract Collision, number 21, that Artie Cat.
And McKaig in the first 9 laps, he was able to pick up a couple of positions as well. 241 laps to go here in Lincoln. We're at the Alcona County Recreation Area, half-mile oval. The Michigan Painter LLC pace sled pulls off. Field goes back in the control of the 57 of Larry Young Jr., who steps in this weekend for James Hicks as they make their championship charge. And we're back underway.
Well, you can see on the outside, Vermash able to grab that lead away from Larry Young as he nailed the throttle, and he went right to the front on that Countryside Motorsports 28 down the back straightaway in tow. I believe that's McKaig in that 54.
Yeah, lost 2 spots there on the start, so Vermash absolutely on it to begin this run. Off the racetrack, Austin Leak looking to take third away from the 57, and the Who's 67 back in the mix as well.
Yeah, it's a real heated battle there for that 4th and 5th, 6th spot back there. The DL Racing 29 involved in there with the 67, the Hoos Racing 67, as well as the 21 of the Cataract Collision Articat Austin Leak.
Leak looking to the inside on that 21 Articat, trying to find a way past the championship leading Polaris for Who's Racing, and right getting in the battle is Nick Wickerham as he sticks the nose in there as DL Racing runs 6th, all nose to tail, and it looks like a big issue.
It looks like a track got shredded right there. That's that 54 McKaig. That track absolutely grenaded on the front straightaway. And that'll be all she wrote for that Furky Racing 54. As that track just absolutely grenaded. You can see the parts coming out from under that machine.
Man, what a unfortunate end it looks like early today for Ryan McKaig and that Furky team. Once again off to such a great start, and a mechanical issue has undone a good day. It's just been that sort of year for this team. All the speed in the world, and as Spanky said, you could see the explosion on that track, it appeared, and the emotion right there from Ryan McKaig, just cannot believe it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. McKaig, one of the fastest riders on the property here, and he had moved up. He was in that second row on the outside, but that track absolutely let go. You know, that's a lot of times those will lock up, those machines will go sideways and spill the rider off, but luckily that track just spit itself all over that front straightaway.
So he is going to bring himself back towards the team for some attention, and here's a look on the Ritchie repair replay.
Up in front you'll see that's back to third spot, but you'll see as we come down the straightaway, you'll see parts coming out right about there. Now you'll start to see as he crossed the line, that track just let loose. There he goes there. The chunks coming out of there everywhere. Good job in McKaig to keep that under control, keep it upright.
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunate end for the 54 team, as you can see Ryan McKaig having a day-ending issue, and there is the sled back pit side.
Yeah, there's the sled there. Well, good camera work by Chris Reams down pit side there, taking a look at that machine. You can see they'll tip it up and you'll see that track there. It is shredded on the front, that inside belt there, just gone out of there. And boy, that's unfortunate for that Sioux Ontario team, Freaky Racing, their day down here.
You can see corner worker getting out there and has to pick all of the assorted pieces. Mark Jade getting in on the fun as well to clean up the racetrack after the issue for the 54 team. It's a early end to the final race of the season for that Polaris, and everyone now chases Cam Vermash out front as he's going to get to restart from the point off the incredible start that he's had, beginning in the 8th spot, and the 28 team now finds themselves leading the way. They finished second at Kinross, and They've been very good all year, had some technical gremlins at Gaylord. They wound up finishing 1 lap off the pace there.
Boy, did he ever nail that start as he got out front there on that Countryside Motorsports 28 there, and it just got the lead and drove away there, and McKeag was with him until that tracker naded, but he had a pretty good lead on that. They had both had a pretty good lead on that third place machine of Larry Young. So we're under the caution here at the Michigan Kenworth 250, and your leader on the number 28, that is Cam Vermash.
Yeah, so a minute ago, Trevor McCoy, Colton Loxton, and they will get their lap back. They are the lucky studs. So 15 laps into this one, 235 laps remaining, and everybody chasing Cam Vermash and co-driver Eric Churchill right now for Countryside Motorsports off the incredible start that they were able to get to this race. The championship battle is raging on as well as the two compatriots in that battle are in second and third. The Mickey's Factory Sleds Chaser is in second, and your points leader, the Who's Racing 67, now up into the third spot in this race is Chase.
Well, if you're joining us on the MIRA Race Network, welcome on board and enjoy today's race. Going to be a dandy here. We're just early into the race here as a special shout out to my 4-time champion up at the I-500 in Sault Ste. Marie, Rogers, Minnesota native John Wick, back in Minnesota watching the action. Hello to the gang down there. And as they continue here to under caution here after the track letting loose on that Furky Racing Polaris.
Look at the Mickey's Factory team on top of their hauler. 234 laps remaining, and I think the pace sled is going to be ready to make that left-hand turn and get the field back, now in the control of Cam Vermash.
If you're new to enduro racing, that cone out there, the machines have to go on the outside of that cone to take the start. Nobody allowed on the inside as that pace set will make that turn down pit side.
All right, Larry Young Jr. to the outside, looking to take the lead back where he started the race on the 57. Got a much better jump this time. Some side-by-side action. Austin Leak will squirt out into third, and Young goes back to the point.
Yeah, that Mickey's Factory sled, the power there, got him back out into the front there as he wasn't going to get behind on that second restart. He's nailed the start. He's got the lead. Vermash second now, and Austin Leak, I believe, that's the Cataract Collision Arctic Cat in third.
Jordan Carlson falling back a spot in the 67. Austin Leak has been charging for certain on the Cataract 21, starting in the 5th position. Now he's looking to put himself onto the podium. We'll have to find a way past Vermash on the Countryside 28 first.
Well, Larry Young got a decent lead heading down that back straightaway. There, you can see Leak trying to close up on that second place machine as they come off turn 4 to the line. There's a good look at that Mickey's Factory sled, that Polaris. Real good coming off that turn 4 to the line.
Lead has remained steady at 0.6 of a second the last 2 times by the stripe. A big battle starting to form for second as Austin Leak working the bars and still looking to take away P2.
27 second laps here right now for these machines out there, running a pretty quick pace here early. Here we've 19 laps in the books here, and there's your leader, Larry Young Jr.
Austin Leak with a look to the outside of Cam Vermash. Will he make it stick around the outside? Yes, he will. Cataract Collision, the Greg Cataract-owned team, on the move, and Austin Leak is looking for the lead.
Boy, the power of that Arctic Cat really starting to show here as he's pulled up alongside of Young. He's out in front now down the back straightaway. Austin Leak and that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, your leader.
What a statement that team certainly has a chance to make today. Is now Larry Young going to have to fight for the second spot as Vermash is looking to take it away.
Vermash down on the bottom there. Young kind of right in the middle groove there now as that inside ski will pick up. You can see the back end a little bit loose on that 57, but Austin Leak, boy, he shot out. And he's out to a pretty good lead now ahead of second place machine, the 57 of Larry Young Jr.
Yeah, he already led it by over a second last time by, and as they battle behind, he may have a chance to extend that even more. Across the stripe here, 228 laps to go, 1.4 seconds, the difference back from first to second, as now Larry Young has been able to buy a little bit of space in front of Vermash, and then Carlson follows in fourth in the championship leading Who's Polaris.
Carlson's starting to get up into the battle there, really coming on with that Who's Racing 67 now as he's closed up on the third place machine of Vermash. You see him on the inside there, that Hoos Racing Polaris.
Vermash up the racetrack a little bit, open the door. For the time being, he will keep that position. Lead is 1.78 seconds up the road, where Austin Leak has gone from 5th to 1st here in the first not quite 25 laps of this race, and even threw a couple of caution flags to put himself out front. That 21 looking very, very strong today. This good battle for the bottom step of the podium, which again, every position very important in the championship chase as it pertains to the 67 and the 57 teams.
Yeah, 24 laps in the books there as when Austin Leak crossed over. 24 in the books here in the Michigan Kenworth 250 here today, and Austin Leak on that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, your early leader here down in Lincoln, Michigan.
Brownlee Boys 77, Rocky Bouveret will go a lap down as Leak is able to move past him and up one more spot.
Leak smoothly through there now as that Brownlee Boys 77 there out to the outside of the track will leave that lane for Larry Young to make his way down through there now as Leak, he's got that Arctic Cat really running real strong here early. Good look at Austin working the bars there, coming off 3 out of 4.
Leak down the front stretch. There's a look back at the gap, 1.17 seconds, so it is closing a little bit right now as Larry Young Jr. has been able to get free of the Countryside 28 and start an attack back at the Cataract 21.
Yeah, the front 4 kind of spaced out there now. You can see Nick Wickerham, he'll put that Bouveret number 77 a lap down as he'll make his way through in that DL Racing 29, that Polaris.
Drake McCullough sticking right with him as Wickerham washes up the racetrack a little bit. They run 5th and 6th right here. McCullough will try the inside as he looks to take a top 5 position here.
Yeah, you can see McCullough there, a little bit of a bump starting to make its way there now in that turn now. As you can see Wickerham and McCullough getting it on there. McCullough on that Pichet Racing number 13.
McCullough, 25-year-old out of Sault Ste. Marie. Wickerham, a few years older, 29, out of Elding, Michigan. And this is Austin Leak, the 32-year-old out of Hubbard Lake. He leads the field by 1.2 seconds right now. Back to Larry Young Jr.
Austin Leak doing a real good job hitting his marks there and just getting around this half mile pretty quick here. Last lap for him, 27.156 there. He has a 1.239 second lead on that second place machine, the Mickey Factory sled number 57.
9 laps now in the books, and lap traffic continuing to be dealt with out front. Keeping an eye as well still on this battle for third place, which hasn't quite gone away yet. The Countryside 28 with Vermash picked up that ski, and that's going to give Carlson maybe a chance to get by him.
You can see Leak picking his way through some lap sleds. He'll put that number 42 machine a lap down. That's Mike Berza and Cam Spencer on that WV Performance 42.
One of 2 WV teams with us this weekend. Berza, Spencer joining Mike Berza as they've had some driver changes. Keith Gainforth could not make it for the 44 team, so Garner Cusack slides over from the 42 to the 44, and then Cam Spencer slides onto the 42 for this weekend.
You see Austin Leak working those bars there. Boy, he's really getting around here. He's on the gas as he'll come up to the Masiak number 76, that machine. Scott and Kill Masiak on that Arctic Cat. Next in line to go a lap down.
Yeah, the Masiaks are the 20th place runners right now, so lapping now after this into the teens for Austin Leak, who stretched his lead, dealing with lap traffic well right now to 2.3 seconds back to the Mickey's 57. So right now, that Cataract Arctic Cat is looking very good, looking like the kind of speed they had at the I-500 where they finished runner-up.
Heavy traffic there now as he comes across the line to complete lap number 32 for your leader, Austin Leak. There's a good look at Larry Young Jr. now picking his way through down on the inside on that number 57 there, that Mickey's Factory Racing Polaris.
Of course, you wonder what the rotation is going to be with Young kind of last minute this morning getting added on to that team. Zack Dewald, all the speed that he's had. Lap traffic continuing to get worked right now by Leak. You saw him wipe that mask as he was able to get past the K&E 48.
Quick look at Ken Swartz, the Sioux Ontario team out there as you can see that Austin Leak about to put him a lap down.
33 laps in the books, 2:17 remaining. Austin Leak has become kind of the dominant factor after he was able to go 5th to 1st during the first couple of stints. We've had 2 caution flags, but this our longest green flag run of the race that has allowed him to stretch his legs a little bit.
You can see some snow ice crystals getting on the track. Larry Young, he pushes out now, and he'll lose a little bit now as he gets out into that berm there. Crossed over, lost some ground. He's falling back there now on a bit.
Yeah, he's going to lose a couple of spots, I think, there. That looks like the 67 that got to the inside of him, and then Vermash is ahead as well in the 28. So Young, in that move, getting up the racetrack, lost 2 spots, goes from 2nd all the way back to the 4th spot this time by.
He's got some handling issues. You can see Young really working the bars on that 57. I don't know if a bunch of ice crystals maybe possibly got in on the clutch, but he lost a bunch of ground there. There he is there now. He's back into that 4th spot.
He's got 3 seconds last time by the line back to the 29 and 5th. So let's see how quickly he loses those 3 seconds as right now everyone continuing to follow Austin Leak out front with 214 laps to go. His lead's up to 5 seconds right now.
Yeah, Leak really driving that Cataract Collision Artie Cat, just putting a distance between that 2nd place machine, the Countryside Motorsports, the number 28, that Polaris of Cam Vermash. A good shot there, the Hoos Racing 67 making its way around. Jordan Carlson on board currently for John Hoos and the gang there on that Polaris.
They come in by 58 points. The points leaders over the 57 as they run right now, a position ahead, of course. That would be enough to crown them champions of MIRA, the swan song race for the Cataract Collision 21 team. They came oh so close at the I-500, and Austin Leak and Ryan Spencer seem to have a rocket ship. Articat, there's a caution flag again on the circuit. 212 laps remaining. We are just starting to work lap number 39.
We'll have to wait and see. One machine now you can see upside down in view there. Not sure what number that might be. That might be the 41 possibly. We'll wait and see. As on the back straightaway, I believe that incident has happened.
You have the rider off screen and a little bit of pain. We saw him sitting up just a minute ago, so that certainly is good news, and we'll get an identification on that sled here in just a minute. But already a couple of incidents have taken this race in. It's the 88 that has suffered the issue, and Colton Loxton, the starting driver. Yeah,
Colton Loxton in there as the caution will fly here, and the field will slow down, get in behind the pace sled out here now as the Michigan Painter pace sled there now is good to see Loxton. Boy, he's oozy, but he's up to his feet. That's always nice to see a rider, but certainly a hard hit taken there as the machine, the rider sitting on that machine now got it uprighted there as caution. We're under the caution here at 39 laps completed at the Michigan Kenworth 250.
A couple of big tumbles already in this race. 211 laps remain, and Colton Loxton upright on the 88 Polaris. He will get ready to get taken back towards the pits. A 31-year-old out of Dafter, Michigan. Good to see he's okay. We had definitely already a couple of big incidents in this one, and you did describe that this is one of the faster circuits of the season as well. Yeah, very fast track. Nice and wide, this track. Wide straightaways, but demanding for the riders, no question about it. High speeds here. There goes Loxton, and good to see that he's back on that machine, but he took a pretty good hit. You can see he was dazed there for a bit. So I'll run him down. Your machine, Austin Leak in that Cataract Collision Artie Cat, your leader, the number 21, 40 laps completed here. Second place, Countryside Racing Polaris, the number 28. Third spot, the Hoos Racing 67. Fourth spot, Mickey's Factory Sled, number 57. Fifth spot, the DL Racing, number 29. Sixth spot, the Pichet Racing, number 13. Seventh spot, R&R Racing, number 20. Eighth spot,
Team Applebee's number 72. 9th spot, Stevenson Racing, number 16. 10th spot, the 41, World Class Racing, number 41. 11th spot, 40 laps completed. Ford Harris Racing, number 43. 12th spot, the Kovar Pike Racing, Danny Mackey and the gang, 12th on the board. 13th, the WV Racing, number 44. 14th spot, the number 2, the Town Brother Racing Skidoo. 15th, the Tommy Bauer Racing, number 19. And 16th, on the lead lap, the number 75, the last machine on the lead lap, the Ken Swartz Racing entry out of Sioux, Ontario, all with 40 laps complete.
So you saw the 88 team completing a driver change. Trevor McCoy, Colton Loxton were the two confirmed riders in the drivers meeting to us a few minutes ago, but that was a Mailport was the name on the back of the jersey that was getting on to that 88 sled. So we'll track down some information on that one. It looks like maybe a very, very last-minute third rider was added to that sled. See the alternate, the number 3 for Pichet Racing on its way. Celestino, Jack Henderson, Mike Kenzer, the trio of youngsters for the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan team are on their way once again. 209 laps to go, and it looks like we're ready to get back under the green flag.
Boy, Austin Leak, he really was on the throttle of that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, but that's all gone now on the outside. The 28 of Vermash will get right alongside as we come back for a restart.
All right, Leak nails it. Good start again for the 28. Stays right with him, and an even better start for Larry Young. He'll be able to pick up that third spot, get around the Who 67. Now try to go for the lead as they duel at the front.
Wow, look at on the inside. There goes Vermash. He's around Austin Leak. Austin Leak forced to the outside of the track now as they head down the straightaway towards turn 3. Leak will push out a little bit. He was running down low on the inside. Now he's out in the snow dust. He'll lose a few spots.
Yeah, Leak going to have to be careful. He doesn't lose multiple spots even beyond just the 57 that he's lost, but Leak not giving up the fight. That 21 is quick. He goes right back around the outside of Young and will reconsolidate the second spot.
Wants to get that cat down on that inside line. That's where he was running earlier, and he got forced out in that outer lane, and he lost some spots, but he quickly gathered that back up into second now. There's a look at Larry Young on the 57, your third place machine.
The two championship leaders being joined by Nick Wickerham on the 29. Another caution flag is out, our fourth of the day, as we're working lap number 45. So another caution on the circuit here in Lincoln.
Caution flag waves here now as the field slows down. We completed, like you mentioned, 44 laps in the books here. And there's the result of the one machine getting tipped back over. Is that the number 88 again?
It is. So more problems for the McCoy Racing Polaris right here.
That machine down in that, looks to be down in possibly that turn 2 area as the officials over to attend to that number 88. Trevor McCoy on earlier. That machine tumbled and got hooked back pit side. And on jumped, we think it's Mailport on board there now. And some more problems with that machine. He's trying to get that one fired.
Yeah, that's you wonder obviously if there may be some existing handling issues from the tumble that we just saw that sled take a minute ago. It looks like he may have to get some help in another tow back towards the paddock.
The signal went out to get the hook to bring that one back, so they'll bring the tow sled. There's a good shot of the tow sled right there now as they'll put the hook on and tow that number 88, that Polaris McCoy Racing, Polaris Dean Marines and Excavating sponsored Polaris, one of the sponsors on the side of that one.
So we are 45 laps in the books here, so we still probably have somewhere around 15 laps until we get some sort of plow break on right now. But so far, one of the dominant factors that we've seen have been a couple of hard chargers. Cam Vermash from 8th, leading the way, and second from 5th, Austin Leak on the 21. Both of those sleds look very, very good and the best they have all year. Yeah,
absolutely. The starts have been interesting. Machines have they've swapped who's got good starts there, and that last start, boy, Vermash got a real good start there. So we're under the caution here in Lincoln, Michigan, the Michigan Kenworth 250.
Yeah, certainly
Down pit side there now. You see that machine towed in there now as
it now will be Trevor McCoy. They've gone through all 3 riders now in the first few laps.
looks like they're looking at something and possibly in the steering, like you'd mentioned, handling issues on that 88. So something amiss in that steering and that first tumble there as they look at that bottom trailing arm there as trying to figure out what might have happened.
Yeah, Trevor joins in. This is a team, by the way. You want to talk about multi-talented. They also have a Reveal the Hammer Outlaw late model team that McCoy runs. There's a few teams that, of course, do a lot of work in the summer on pavement and dirt as well. All right, Cam Vermash will lead the field back to green. 204 laps to go, and here we go. He goes side by side with Leak again, the 2 championship battlers in the second row.
Yeah, Vermash moved him out a little bit. The skis, you can see them just touch lightly there as he'll grab that lead. Leak in second. And that third place machine, I think that's Larry Young on the 57. As they head down that back straightaway, Vermash will lead the gang in that Countryside Motorsports Polaris.
Yeah, the 28 team kind of flipping around their normal driver lineup. They've traditionally been starting Churchill, then putting Vermash on, done the opposite. Vermash with that neon helmet starting the race, Leak second, and you can see the rest of the field filing through as right now Larry Young Jr. just trying to hang on as he lost another spot on the restart and may have more that he's going to lose here.
Yeah, the field kind of spaced out down that back straightaway, but look at the battle there as the 2 machines side by side. That could be possibly the Ullman number 41, I believe.
It is at the battle of 8th and 9th. Stevenson Racing 16 right there with them.
There's a look at Larry Young now back into that 5th position there. He's got a battle right there. Nick Wickerham and the DL Racing 29 challenging for that spot.
DL Polaris came in 5th in points today for the duo of Birch and Wickerham. They have been very consistent. They finished 3rd in Kinross, 3rd at the I-500, 3rd in Gaylord. So they have been hyper consistent on the podium pretty much every time they've raced and looking to make a couple of steps up that podium here in the final round of the year.
Drake McColo in that Pichet Racing number 13, currently 7th spot as he challenges DL Racing 29 for that position, number 6. There's a look at your top 3 as they come off turn 3 out of 4 to the line.
Gap is now down just inside a second as Austin Leak was able to peel a couple of tenths off the lead of Cam Vermash out front, and then he's got about half a second to the 3rd place running Who's 67. There is the 88 back at the race on the racetrack, but Trevor McCoy maybe a little bit off the pace up the track.
Yeah, something just not right with the handling of that one for sure. There's a good look of that 28 coming. You can see a little dirt starting to show there now, Nate, in that corner when that Countryside Motorsports Polaris went through that corner there.
It is one of the warmer race days that we have had this season, really any round in almost any whether MIRA or other form of ice oval snowmobile racing this season. This is the battle for the second spot as all the leaders right under a blanket and all within 0.8 of a second of each other. Larry Young Jr. maybe losing one more spot right there as you look at Carlson making a move on Leak.
Yeah, Carlson looking on the inside of that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat of Leak there now as he got alongside, but he'll back off a bit now as your leader continues to be that Countryside Motorsports Polaris, the number 28 machine of Cam Vermash.
Vermash, 34-year-old out of Unionville, has stretched the lead to just over a second, but these two, of course, going for the second spot, still right there, nose to tail. More great battling throughout the rest of the field as well, trying to keep up with all of it right now, dealing with some lap traffic. Vermash will slip to the inside of Rocky Bouveret, and he might be able to build a bit of a gap right here.
Yeah, those two are still right nose to tail. The Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, a Leak, and the 67, that Hoos Racing Polaris.
They're going to split the Brownlee boys 77 there.
Head down towards turn 3. Good look at Leak there, working the bars there, and the Hoos machine a little bit sideways down on the inside of the track.
I don't know if that's been the happiest handling sled since the beginning. I feel like we've seen Carlson in a couple of moments working just like that, trying a new plan of attack right here on Austin Leak. Let's see if he can find a way by.
I think the racers, if you talk to them, they like to have the back end a little bit loose, and as compared to a tight sled that's going to try to pitch you off the machine, you know, you can kind of drive it with the throttle, and that looks to be the case on that Hoos machine you see right there as he pitched it out a little bit sideways. But controllable with the throttle.
Of course, always a tricky balance then as the race goes on. The racetrack loosens up naturally then as well, that you don't want to have things set too far at the beginning, because then by the end of the race you'll have a real handful.
Yeah, and as we get some dirt on the track, I mean, obviously your carbide runners get wore down. They're not sharp. They don't grab as well. You don't have the front end bite that you normally have, so you're constantly adjusting. There's a look at Larry Young in that 57 there now. We've 56 laps in the books here.
Yeah, Young back to the 6th spot right now, so especially thinking of that championship battle, is the championship point leading Who's Racing 67, Jordan Carlson trying to find a way by Austin Leak, who had a couple of quick moments there working the bars through 1 and 2.
Both of them. Carlson had a little a stutter there in the corner too, as he had to gather it back up there and got her heading down the back straightaway. There's a Austin Leak on that Cataract Collision again. Carlson making a bit of a run on that 67 on Leak.
58 laps in the book, 0.6 of a second the lead. Back to the 21 in the battle right behind, as the leaders once again, you can see it, all right under a blanket.
Looks like they're going to approach a lap sled there coming up as they head down that back straightaway. Your leader, pretty good lead right now. He's got a, what has he got? A 6.6 second lead here.
No, it's 0.6 of a second.
Oh,
that is Vermash right there.
That is Vermash. He's lost the lead that he had. He's got caught by Austin Leak. Yeah.
And they're in clean track as well. So those two, while battling, have caught Vermash with everyone still in clean air. So maybe a little bit of pace falling off for the 28 team right now at the end of this first stint.
Yeah, only under a half a second. That's all. The distance between first and second. There's a good look of it right there. Is that 28 comes off the corner of Cam Vermash, your leader.
60 laps into this one, and there are the leaders all right under a blanket. Cam Vermash, Austin Leak, Jordan Carlson, the top 3. I don't need to give you what the gaps are between them. You can all visually see it.
Yeah, that's a tight battle, boy. One little slip and you can go back a couple spots pretty quick there. Everybody right there as they'll come off 3 and 4. A caution flag flies here again now. 60 laps in the books and the caution's out.
Yeah, so that our 5th of the day, and this likely will bring our plow break right here. By the way, keeping up with that points championship, the 57, oh, there is an issue. It is the 16 that has had the issue, so it's Deshano for Stevenson Racing has...
Picking up a part, something coming undone on that machine there as he looks... pretty distraught there. It looks like an idler wheel from the back of the suspension, so maybe he's derailed the track or maybe grenaded the track also. The Shano standing there, not there's a good shot of we talked about some dirt starting to appear, and then that's a good look of it there, just that one groove kind of mid-track in that turn 4 area.
Yeah, so that's certainly something to watch. The point I was just about to make, though, is the 57, as we go to this caution in our first plow break and likely driver change, back to the 7th spot. So the Mickey's Factory Racing 57, starting with Larry Young Jr., and it looks like they're going to be putting Zack Dewald on for the second stint. Certainly falling back through the grid. We'll see what happens now with Dewald getting on this next stint.
Well, we've seen previous racing. If you've been on the MIRA Race Network, you've seen that Zack Dewald gets on a sled, it makes its way towards the front there. So, that's a pretty good run for Larry Young on board that machine. Not a regular on that. James Hicks sick today, so got that one certainly up towards the front. And when Mr. Dewald gets on there, that he's one of the quickest on the property.
So Deshano still working to get that 16 Polaris back underway. Lucky Stud is going to be the 42 for WV Racing. So Mike Berza will get a lap back here. 188 laps to go.
I think he's grenaded. Sorry, Nate. I think he's grenaded that track. You can see the toboggan heading out to get that Deshano number 16 there. I think that track coming apart on that one. You could see one of the corner workers throwing some pieces off the track there. So tough luck for them boys.
And that would be the second time that we've seen a team deal with that sort of issue. Had Ryan McCaig have the Furky day end right away with a similar issue, as Deshano now is going to get that tow sled over and he'll work his way back towards the paddock area. As everyone now will wait with this plow break. Our first driver changes and pit stops of the race. Everybody chasing Cam Vermash right now.
That's tough luck for that team. That XLT Engineering, Deschano Farms, Neumeier Mechanical sponsored 16. They've had a strong season.
Yeah.
They've ran well. Preston Deschano and normally Chris Hawley, today Trent Sorum on board, but looks like their day may be done. I think that track letting go on that Polaris of them.
And fortunate, too, because I was excited to see Sorum, another young rider. Deschano's 23, Sorum 24, to see them get another really talented youngster that we've seen do some good work with the Lineberger team in the past. So I was excited to see what sort of race that they would be able to put together, but unfortunately, looks like an early end, and here come the pit stops.
You can see, take a look, and in they're coming. There's your leader right there in that 28. Cam Vermash, he'll come in tight pit area here, so you got to hit your marks when you come to your pits there. You can see Vermash, he'll unplug that tether cord. The new rider will get on.
So Eric Churchill will jump on the race-leading 28 right here. Good look from Chris Reams down to the pits at the team going to work on your leading sled.
Can of race fuel into that machine. That Countryside Motorsports Polaris back out underway. Eric Churchill now on board that. Look at how tight it is in the pit area there. Boy, a lot of congestion as they go to work putting a ski on that Hoos Racing 67. There's a look at Zack Dewald getting on board that Mickey's Factory, so an adjustment on the track for that one.
Yeah, so a little bit of a delayed stop there. We'll have to see the order they came out, and it looked like the 21 with Ryan Spencer jumping on, potentially jumping in pit lane the 28. So we'll see what that order winds up being, but it looks like a great pit stop for the Cataract Collision Articat boys as the Deschano team. You look at both Deschano and Sorum right there going to work.
Yeah, they're working there. Maybe able just to, that looks like a rear idler wheel. You see the idler wheel missing on the outside of that, so I don't know if a bearing let go on that idler wheel, but you could see them working away on that one, trying to get it back out there.
One of two Articats in the field belong to the Maciags. Scott, the 53-year-old, Cale, the 18-year-old. Cale started. Scott now jumping on for that team. And we look at them because actually they did not make a pit stop. So they are now the listed leaders. So it looks like Cale Maciag staying out there. So they're going to cycle to the front.
Yeah, I think so. And right behind there, the young team, Aaron Celestino, on that Pichet Racing second machine. I don't think they come pit side either. So, yeah, they'll be the two sleds that will be showing as your leader, possibly.
The question will be how many laps down while this gets sorted out the three sled was, because they did make their stop a bit earlier because they had made their first driver swap at that point in time. But still, something to monitor as they've gone off sequence.
I do see on Race Monitor, that Cataract Collision Articat that's showing in second spot the Vermash on the 20 Countryside Racing. Now Eric Churchill on board. In third, the DL Racing 29 Polaris, fourth. The Hoos Racing 67, fifth. Pichet Racing number 13, Drake McCullough and the gang, sixth. Kovar Pike 34, seventh. Tommy Bauer Racing number 19, eighth. Applebee's number 72, ninth. And the Harris Racing 43, that's your top 10.
Always love when you get some mixed up strategy in these races. If you remember back to Gaylord, it was the 28 team of Vermash and Churchill that were consistently pitting mid-stint off the pace essentially, and it cycled them to the front at a couple of different occasions. There's Zack Dewald on the 57, and after that adjustment, he has dropped back to 12th for this restart, so that is where Dewald falls to.
We see the plows out onto the track here, so we'll get a plow in here now as we've completed 66 laps of the Michigan Kenworth 250 here up in Lincoln, Michigan. And your leader, the showing the number 76, Maciac Racing, that Articat, did not pit. They have that Articat in front here.
184 laps remaining, and updating the championship battle. This is going exactly as the Hoos Racing boys at their home race wanted to see it go, as the 57, who was chasing them the points, have dropped all the way back to that 12th spot. So right now the championship would be going to Hoos Racing. The great season they had, they started with a win at the World Championship Snowmobile Derby in Eagle River, and they've been consistent since. 5th at Kinross, 2nd at Gaylord. So the Hoos Racing team, they have just been consistent after opening the year with a win out in Wisconsin and a chance to potentially be champions here if this sort of day keeps up for them, which they've been very consistent so far, currently running in the 5th spot.
We get a chance to look at the Auto Solutions plow truck as well as the Countryside Motorsports. A couple of the plow trucks there. We commend the work that they do here in the track. I want to thank the gang who built this track, Quick Farms, Jim and LJ Quick, DeRoche Masonry, Jim DeRoche, Tim and Austin Leak involved, Krentz Construction.
All right, and let's send it on down first here to Chris Reams. Pitside's got a word with the 57 team.
Todd, I watched you guys pit here. Larry did a hang of his job in that first segment. You got Zach out there now. Is this going as planned?
Yeah, for the most part, we made a little chassis adjustment to try to help the sled a little bit. It's a little free coming off the corner, so we tried to tighten it up a little bit. Larry did a great job, kept us in the top 5, and our pit stop took a little longer to make that change, but I think Zach can get up to the front.
I agree with you. Zach's an amazing rider. So what's the sequence now? We got a couple more plows ahead of us. Will Larry get back on the sled today?
Yeah, Larry will get back on, and then Zach will finish.
All right, there you go, guys. There's the secret strategy in the 57 camp.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thanks to Todd Cricky, the crew chief, for that Mickey's Factory 57 team. Of course, a very, very fast driver in his own right back in the day, and he managed to make that thing go quick now too, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. What a rider he was back in the day. Todd Cricky has the track record up at the I-500. That hasn't been broke for a lot of years. Todd Cricky.
I mean, it right now seems like, they got close this year. Seems like maybe the only guy that's going to have a chance to beat him is the guy that's driving a Todd Cricky prepared sled at this point in time.
One will never know. It's certainly the driver changes made here. They get that track plowed pretty quick here, so it's not going to be real long. We'll get back underway here. 69 in the books here, Nate.
Yeah, so that 57 team able to make their adjustment will now get to see Zack Dewald take over at the controls as he looks to hunt. They started on the pole, have now fallen back after that more extended adjustment pit stop to the 12th position. Look at Zack right now under the caution.
We had a quick look at Cody Bauer on board that Bauer excavating number 19. Is everybody having a good old time sliding down the hill here?
It's been a quietly really good race for Luke Krentz on his first stint now with Cody taking over. Krentz starting 14th and all the way up after the pit stop, which they've been really good on pit stops this year, to 8th. So the Tommy Bauer team, Winners and Kinross, hanging around right now, putting themselves in the picture. Absolutely.
Good view of everybody on the banks here at down in Lincoln, Michigan, listening on 96.9 FM radio. Listen to the call of the race, and if you're on board MIRA Race Vision, we got Chris down pit side. Who you got, Chris?
I noticed they put something on the track earlier to start the race for snow dust. Does that affect you guys at all?
Yeah, big time. It's like raining on your goggles. It didn't matter how much rain actually had on it. Every time you'd wipe, it just wanted to smear. So it was visibility, it made a big difference out there.
I got that. So I know that you and your partner are in a battle to keep the lead. I see right now on the sign it looks like you guys are currently in 5th. Any worries?
No. We still got a lot of racing left, and we got a good group of guys here. We'll be back up in the front in no time. Not worried at all.
Again, not going to share all of his secrets, but watch out for the 67. They're coming.
All right, thank you, Chris. And a confident Jordan Carlson as he has stepped off that sled and given way to LJ Quick, the Alpena native, now on to the 67.
Interesting point that he put out there. They put a chemical down on the track to keep the snow dust down, and it might be some type of a silicone that smears on the goggles and creates a vision problem.
Yeah, for sure. So you look at the 67 now with LJ Quick behind the controls. 179 laps to go. They've gone to the 5th spot.
Joe Birch on board the 29. Joey Birch on the DL Racing Polaris now as well. I believe that'll be Henderson on board that number 13 as Drake McCullough had a good first run there. That machine currently 6th on the board.
And McCullough able to start in 4th. Kept the sled up front, currently running 6th. Of course, things getting shaken up a little bit here by some of these last pit stops that we've seen. Still waiting for that Michigan Painter LLC pace sled to pull off the circuit. When it does, we will get ready to get the green flag here. And, of course, interestingly, we're going to put the field in the control of the 18-year-old Kale Maciag, who stayed out under that last caution to move that Arctic Cat to the front of the field, and then some lap traffic with a 3 right there as well.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting restart. That's a lap machine, that the second Pichet Racing number 3 out there. And Maciak, boy, we got the Hungry Wolves in behind there ready to roll in the restart here, so stand by. We're not far away from a restart here. 72 laps in the books here at the Michigan Kenworth 250 here in Lincoln, Michigan.
The Maciak 76 has, throughout a lot of the year, has been the lone Arctic Cat in the field. Of course, they're joined by the 21 here this weekend. Looks like, by the way, down in the pits here, I think our Chris Reams is getting ready to get us a little bit more insight on what's going down there. 178 laps remain in this one, and as the field continues to work under the caution flag, let's send it on down now to you, Chris. Take it away.
I'm down here with Rocky Bouverette. Rocky, you did something pretty amazing today. Tell the world what you did.
Well, we were going to go to Eagle River, Wisconsin for the World Series, and got a text message from Rob looking for a couple of drivers, so talked with Haven and said, hey, what about doing a father-daughter enduro? It's probably never been done, and it's just something to make memories. You know, what's the chances of getting to do it again? So here we are, and I started off the race and felt really good, and I only went 3 laps down out of the first session, so not too bad for my first enduro race.
Now, if I know your daughter the way I think I do, she's going to make you look good and probably get those laps back.
I sure hope so. All I know is I hope I laid down a better lap time than her.
Is there a side bet that we're not aware of?
No, just bragging rights.
There you go, bragging rights. First daddy and daughter race team, the number 77 Brownlee Boys Racing.
All right, thanks, Chris. What a cool story that just is, like, all things considered.
If I'm a betting person, I think she's going to get sent to her room. I think she's going to have a faster lap time. She's a quick rider. Yeah. We're under the caution here as we get we had a plow session. We get ready to go back. There's a good look at the young lady on board, that Brownlee Boys Racing, Haven Bouverette.
A very cool story, certainly. Currently, she's going to get this restart in the 20th spot, as her dad just mentioned. 3 laps down on that first stint, and what was a very, very fast and furious start. 5 caution flags already in this race as we work lap 74.
In behind Bouverette, you got a quick look at that 26 machine. It had brought out the caution early on that 26. Ryan Wolf spilled that one, that JB Performance Polaris. There's a shot of that one right there as back out. Not sure who's on board, possibly Chad Seiler on board there now.
Yeah, that is impressive for that team to get back out there after the early incident in this race, and got the cone out, and we are getting that much closer to getting this race back under the green flag. I'd love to see a nice green flag run here to kind of get this race settled out a little bit. It's been kind of stop and starts, felt a little bit more like the Kinross race than the Gaylord race so far.
Interesting, going back to Vermash there about that chemical down onto the track. I don't know if that chemical's got to soak into the track. They put it down just before the start of the race, and maybe some of that just blowing up onto the goggle area, and like he said, when you go to wipe it off, he just had a smear like you get when you get a silicone on a lens there. So interesting.
No, it's definitely something to monitor. You saw the crew going to work and doing that just before the race started, but something that we'll have to continue to check in with riders throughout the rest of the day on as well. We are 75 laps into the Michigan Kenworth 250, and we've been previewing going back to green. I think we are getting real close now.
Endurance racing always so critical. Visibility always seems to be a factor in endurance snowmobile racing here, and whether it's the temperature creating visibility or snow, or interesting what's happened here.
So once again, everyone right now chasing Cale Masiak. The 76 team deciding to stay out under that last caution flag. Second place, the Cataract Collision 21, Ryan Spencer. Then the Countryside Racing 28, Eric Churchill now behind the controls there. DL Racing 29, who's racing 67, the rest of the top 5. So always an interesting part of the race when we get to see the second drivers take over for the first time to see where the balance is going to be.
There's a lot of heavy hitters out there. Joey Birch out there in that 29. Zack Dewald out there in the 57. You know they're going to want to get to the front. Colin Henderson, always a hard charger out there as well. Eric Churchill on the 28. Boy, it's going to be an interesting restart. Spencer in that 21. He can flat out ride a snowmobile also. So a lot of big name riders ready to go in this restart here.
And Zack Dewald, as we mentioned a minute ago, all the way back in 12th. So something that we're going to monitor is how quickly that 57 can work through the field. As you look at the Tommy Bauer team as they look on right now, their number 19 is up to the 8th spot.
And Mike Otto and the gang there up on top of the hauler there, pit side. As we continue under the pace sled, the Michigan Painter pace sled out onto the track here in Lincoln, Michigan. We've completed 77 laps in the books. A good look at the Countryside Motorsports 28 team up on their hauler now.
173 laps remain.
It'll be interesting to see where the lines that they try to run when they get back going here. We can see that slight little bit of dirt starting to show on the inside of that corner. That out on the outside looks to be fairly smooth, but I mean it's the longest way around this half mile too. So it'll be interesting to see what's overall. The track has been unbelievable here down in Lincoln. Great work by the track to build a great track here and holding up pretty good under pretty warm conditions.
Yeah, and right before we go back under the green flag, it looks like Chris has caught up with Austin Leak down in the 21 camp. Chris, take it away.
Hey, Austin, I'm typically seeing you on the Sprint Saturday show, but here you are on Saturday program. Talk to me about this 21 sled.
Yeah, so I just filled in here. Troy's retiring, and Greg asked me to run with him, and, you know, we basically got the band back together from 2018, and I wanted to give it another shot. I ran in Gaylord with a different team, and Lincoln being the hometown track, I just wanted to come out and...
So you just didn't give it a shot. You were leading the field. So what did it feel like to be up front on an enduro sled?
It felt pretty good. Before we got here this weekend, I told my dad, I was like, I would really like to get up front and at least lead some laps. And so I guess that was my goal. But, I mean, ultimately, Ryan's got to get on, or Ryan's on it right now, and I'll get on one more time, and Ryan's going to finish it. And I'd really like to go out with a bang with Cataracts and see if we could bring home a checkered flag.
So there you guys go. They're riding for Troy. So watch out for that 21 team.
All right, thanks, guys. Certainly they're going to have a very, very good chance to be in victory lane at the end of the day, Spanky.
I'll tell you what, I think Austin Leak thinks it is Sprint Saturday the way he was driving out there. He was absolutely motoring out there. Good job by him.
All right, we are back to green flag racing. The Masiak 76, they did not pit under that last yellow. They have the lead. The 3R is lap traffic in the middle of it. Everyone splits through side by side for the lead. Churchill working against Quick, and LJ Quick goes to the front.
Oh, yeah, LJ Quick, he got the start. He come from back about the third row there, and he got right up through the traffic. And there he is. There's the battle with Eric Churchill on that Countryside Motorsports 28, that Polaris.
And Spencer and Birch right into it as well, but side by side for the top spot. The difference, .004 at the line that time by, and the nose went to the 28. Churchill as Quick looks to cross him back over here.
Birch made a move on Spencer there, but Spencer gathered that Arctic Cat back up and was able to hold on to that third spot. But your leader out front, that's Churchill on that number 28 machine.
We saw the 67 on corner entry there for Quick, had a bit of a bobble, and it backed up the chasing Ryan Spencer along with also Joey Birch behind. So now they will reset and look to track down the 28. Eric Churchill now behind the controls, and boy, they have got a lot of speed in that 28 team once again here today. 168 laps to go.
Always interesting, Nate, when they go back in, they make rider changes. That it takes the riders a few laps to really, find their way on the track where they want to run and everything. But that's got to be a lot of high tension as a move there on the inside. That's Joey Birch around. That's Zack Dewald up in Joey Birch.
That's Zack Dewald up to 5th. He just set the fastest lap of the race. He's already gone 12th to 5th on this run, and he's coming.
26.489, about a half a second faster than the next machine out there. Dewald marching to the front as now he's working on Joey Birch in that DL Racing 29, but just ahead there is that 21 of Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer right there. So it took just a couple of laps to go up 7 spots from starting back in 12th on that restart. The battle just in front of Dewald, continuing to roar on as we go to the front where Who's Racing and LJ Quick have swapped around and they lead the way again.
Wow, tight racing there. What a move he made. He just able to slide through there, and he's around Eric Churchill in that Countryside Motorsports Polaris.
Churchill certainly not giving up the fight here. He has got a quick sled, works the bars on entry. Zack Dewald looking for a position behind. There's action all over the racetrack right now. This is for the lead.
Churchill coming back at taking a run at Quick there as they continue to count laps down. What a battle that is for the lead there as they 86 laps in the book here so far. Heated battle for that third spot. There's Zack Dewald on the inside of Spencer, poking the nose up in there down the back straightaway.
He was able to get by Birch last time. Now he's going to look to go to the inside of Spencer. For the time being, the veteran rider Spencer holds him off a slide there from the 28, looking for the lead.
That's pretty tight racing there, Nate. That 67, that Hoos machine started to skip out a bit, but both riders, good job to no contact there as they head down off turn 2 down the back straightaway.
Second, third, and fourth right there as well, battling. Everyone really on one shot on the screen. This is the fight for third and fourth. Ryan Spencer, Zack Dewald.
There's Dewald there. Let that inside ski. He'll pick up there now as looks like he's going to make that move on Spencer now. In tow, Joey Birch right there in the DL Racing 29. Working on Spencer now to try to grab that spot.
Zack started this run, as I just mentioned, in 12th. He has already moved his way into the top 3. He's got 2.3 seconds ahead to the 2 leaders, and I don't think it'll take very long for him to get there, especially as they continue to battle, and now they also will be battling in lap traffic.
Boy, what a scrap that is for the lead there as they're onto some lappers there. Who's going to pick the right line to get through that? As you can see now down on the inside, will go LJ Quick on that Hoos Racing machine. Good job by him in tow. That's the 28 machine in tow of Eric Churchill.
Yeah, Churchill sticking right there and put Zack Dewald into the mix. He's there. Churchill slips up the racetrack. The battle now is for second. Zack Dewald looking to move into the top 2 spots.
Dewald right down on the inside of the track as LJ Quick starts to get out a little bit on that second place machine at Churchill, but he's got company right there on the outside. That's Zack Dewald in the Mickey's Factory 57, now third.
LJ Quick would love to see this battle last a while as that ski picked up a little bit and Dewald will lose some momentum to maybe allow for Quick to scamper off a bit, but for the time being, it'll be Churchill staying in front and Zack Dewald will have to come up with a new plan of attack, lap traffic in the way right here.
Well, we've seen as Zack Dewald taking a look at different lines there to try to figure out how he might be able to make the now. Look at now, you can see Churchill starting to close up on the leader as there's a lap machine. I believe that's Haven Bouverette and that Brownlee boys Polaris.
It is. They first thought about trying to split Haven, then instead discretion the better part of valor. Churchill goes around the outside, and then Dewald goes around Churchill. He's able to work the lap traffic perfectly, and a caution flag is out. 158 laps remaining, and our 6th caution of the day. It's an issue for the Masiak 76.
Yeah, Masiak machine stopped the rider off, so don't know what happened with that one. Something mechanical, I would think. It doesn't look like it's been upside down, so Masiak to the inside of the track there, the tether cord undone there now, and you can see the disappointment on that rider.
So we made it through 92 laps of this one.
Caution flag flies here. Boy, what a battle that was between those top three machines. Who's Racing 67 there of LJ Quick, the Mickey's Factory 57, Zack Dewald, as well as the 28 Countryside Motorsports machine, Eric Churchill. They were swapping positions.
We have had, if you've been with us all day here on the MIRA Race Network, we have had just terrific racing all day long. Pretty much all the junior races came down to like turn 4 last lap passes, and the racing has again lived up to the hype. This is a great racetrack that produces great racing. It's in good condition as well. I mean, these guys have been chopping it up all day, and I mean, we're not even 100 laps in.
Now the hook will go on that Masiak Artie Cat, and it'll get towed back pit side. So try to get some information what might have happened with that one, but we're under the caution here. 93 laps in the books.
Well, if you remember, they did not pit there. They were off sequence already. So, I mean, you wonder, we kind of had a fuel issue on one sled going back the last race, but also potentially some other issue is the strategy ultimately not going to work out for that team.
One machine that's been on the move, that Team Applebee's 72, they've come up into the top 10 now. They're 6th on the board. As I don't know, that's Jake Giroux, I would think, on board that one, as Andy Shoemaker has started that machine. But they've moved their way into the top 10, coming up 6th currently on the board.
Jake, the local out of Oscoda, 32-year-old, and that team has been right around it all year long. They are 3rd in points, kind of quietly. They had the pole at Kinross, finished 4th. They were 5th at Gaylord, started 7th in this race. The Team Appleby 72 certainly have been right around it all year long and having a good charging run up the field right now as Masiak will get that tow back to his hauler.
There's a look at that now down pit side here as the continue under the caution here. We'll run down the top 15 machines on the lead lap here. The Hoos Racing 67, your leader, is 2nd, the Mickey's Factory 57. 3rd spot, the Countryside Racing Polaris 28. 4th spot, the number 21 Cataract Collision Arctic Cat. 5th, the 29 DL Racing Polaris. 6th spot, Applebee's Team 72. 7th spot, Kovar Pike Racing 34. 8th spot, Pichet Racing number 13. 9th spot, Tommy Bauer number 19. 10th spot, World Class Racing 41. 11th, the Town Brothers Skidoo, the number 2. 12th, the WV number 44. 13th, the R&R Racing number 20. 14th, 43 Harris Racing number 43. And rounding out 15th, Ken Swartz 75.
All right, perfect timing. Back to green. Quick will battle Zack Dewald, and Zack Dewald leads the race with 154 laps to go.
Zack Dewald absolutely nailed the start. That Mickey's factory sled's got a lot of power on the straightaways, and Dewald just flat out drove that thing back to the front here. Good shot of that now as he'll come down through the middle of the track. 2nd place machine, LJ Quick now.
As we go back to green, by the way, the Masiak team continuing to work on that sled. They were not able to get back out and continue to work as we are under the green flag. Battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right here as Zack Dewald has taken off out front.
There's a good battle for 2nd there between that 67, LJ Quick, and the 28 of Eric Churchill. Really running close. They've been running close for a lot of laps before the caution. They continue on here battling for that 2nd spot.
A couple of magnets in those sleds, the way that they've just been attracted to each other, yet have not had contact yet. Churchill washes up the racetrack, and that'll give some breathing room for LJ Quick here.
That's how quick it can happen. You get into those ice crystals there. That's what happened with Fountain there. Or I should say Churchill. He got up into the ice crystals and just lost ground quickly. But Zack Dewald, there's something flying off one of the machines now, and possibly just off the driver's uniform there. I don't think it was anything from a machine.
It was one of the lap sleds that they were working past. You see the 72 in 5th spot. Jake Giroux sticking the nose in there. He's now joining this battle.
Yeah, Giroux, he's come up. That machine, we talked about it, making its way up in the top 10. Now 5th on the board. One machine slowing down considerable, that Pichet Racing number 3.
I believe that is the sled that had whatever that piece come off of just a minute ago. Churchill, after he, for a second, lost the third spot to Joey Birch, now looking to take it back away, but he has to look out the back as well because here comes Jake Giroux.
Wow, what a move. Giroux got the nice inside move, and he's pulled up alongside of Churchill now. He's going to challenge for that spot, the fourth spot with the number 28.
So Giroux right in it. You can see here the third, fourth, and fifth spots. Jake Giroux looking to take fourth away from Eric Churchill once again. 149 laps remaining, past the 100-lap point.
Joey Birch in that DL Racing 29. They're in third now, running pretty steady as they try to track down your leader, Zack Dewald, in that 57. There's a good look at that 29 DL Racing players right there of Joey Birch.
Birch working those bars with Churchill weaving behind. He'll make a move to the inside. Birch has it covered. Great battle here, continuing for the third, fourth, and fifth spots.
Yeah, what a three-way scrap that is for the position there now. Is wow, we get a look at a flyover here.
That's a fun little treat right in the middle of the race. We go right back into this battle once again, which is not changing. 148 laps to go. Big picking up the ski right there from Churchill.
Yeah, you can see Churchill. He got sprayed big time by Joey Birch and probably lost visibility there for a second. And that ski come up there pretty good there, able to settle it back down. Wow, what a battle that is there. That's just been continuing to go on there. That 28, the 67, and the 29 all really scrapping it out for second, third, and fourth position.
And Churchill is remaining right there. Zack Dewald leading the way. He is 3 seconds in front of LJ Quick in the 67, and then this battle taking place about 3 seconds back of Quick right now.
Continue here in the Michigan Kenworth 250 here. We completed 104 laps in the books, and there's a good look at your leader, Zack Dewald. There's the number 29. That's a third place machine. Joey Birch on board. Around some lap traffic in tow, that 28 machine, Eric Churchill.
They were going around first. Cam Spencer on the 42, and they all will be able to clear him right here, but that traffic continuing, and it's going to spread apart this battle a bit. Birch dealt with that traffic very well, which we've seen throughout the years. Joe Birch is always very, very good at handling lap traffic, finding different lines when he needs to find them. He's done that right here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's comes at 29 and continues there now as we continue under the green here. Good look at Churchill on that 28 machine. They're now back to that 4 spot.
Yeah, Birch is able to get about a second on him, working that lap traffic. Churchill running in fourth is trying to hunt him back down here while also having to look out the back as Jake Giroux is right there in the 5th spot.
Last lap for the Mickey's Factory 57. Dewald a little bit slower, so I don't know if they just got out into the marbles there or what, but a slower lap. He's been on really on kill out there with that 57, but that last lap a little slower.
Yeah, the lead is down to less than a second at the front, so LJ Quick is right there. There is the leader, and Quick is right behind him, 142 to go at the line.
You have to wonder what if anything's happening with that 57 sled. There's Quick there now as he'll try to put that Harris Racing 43 a lap down on the outside. There he goes. He's around, but interesting here now. Last lap for Dewald at 27.104. Last lap for the Hoos Racing at 27.646. So I think Dewald's got her back going.
Yeah, I think maybe some issues there in traffic trying to get around Scotty Harris, and to the outside, Dewald continuing to work. His lead is stretched back up to 1.5 seconds. So now dealing with the traffic well, the Maciags are back out on the racetrack, and Dewald has them next in his sights.
You see Dewald just wipe that visor a little bit, and as he tries to find his way around that Maciak 76 machine. There's a good, nice close view of Zack Dewald on the Mickey's Factory sled.
140 laps to go. Remember, when Dewald started off the first plow break, they had an extended pit stop. They fell back outside the top 10. It took him one lap to move from 12th to the top 5. Took him another lap to move into the top 3, and now he's been pulling away at the front, leads by 1.4 seconds, gets around the Town Brothers.
Felsky Farms on the side. Caution flies here now. We can see some stuff on the front straightaway. I wonder if another track let go.
There is a chance that could be an issue once again. That is our 7th caution flag of the day.
I would guess either a belt or a track. It looks to be some rubber components on the front straightaway.
And waiting to see the issue. Looks like there is one sled that we'll get a look at here, hopefully in a second, that has been stranded off in turns 1 and 2. 139 laps remaining, and again, caution flag number 7 of the day. It's the McCoy 88 once again. So for the 3rd time today, an issue bringing out a caution for Trevor McCoy's team.
Yeah, it's been a troublesome day there. You can see something in behind there. I think that's probably part of the track in behind. I think that track letting loose maybe on that one is picking up something there now in view, Trevor McCoy.
And as we go to the caution flag, Chris Reams is down pit side. We'll send it on down to Chris now.
Hey, Steven, we just watched you guys get towed in. I've been watching your crew working very feverishly on this thing. It appears that the motor is seized up. Is that what is happening?
Yeah, my little brother Sawyer was on it and locked right off. This is the 2nd motor. The Sioux sled blew up. Put this motor in it, same thing. 2 motors now this year.
Oh, my goodness. So any idea why? Or
Gonna have to take that up with the engine builder.
All right. But, hey, I know it's very disappointing, but I've watched you guys have a very successful year with your brothers. It's pretty. Tell me about what it's like to race with your brothers.
It's pretty fun because we can beat each other up if we want. We can fight and argue about the sled.
Is there any type of a side bet, like whoever has the fastest lap time, or is it just bragging rights, or is there something behind all of that?
Oh, there was a $200 pot on who finished better last week in the semi-pro, and Sawyer won that.
So, wow. I tell you what, these guys are competitive. If I'm not mistaken, you guys also race on asphalt in the summer?
Yep. I race the Outlaw late models with just all over, and we keep busy racing.
So we'll see you soon at the asphalt track. But as for right now, the number 41 sled's going to be retired for the day.
Yep, we're done. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris. So unfortunate there for the Almonds, as they're going to see the end of their day, and the same very likely could be said on the 88 here, Spanky.
Yeah, you can see the back of that track slapping there, so obviously that track letting go there. You can see the outside belt gone there as it rolled to a stop there, so yeah, you can see pieces missing on that one. So that'll be it for the McCoy team. Their day is done now.
It's been a long day for them to even get to this point. They've been able to battle through it for the most part, and the cleanup being done now to get the rest of the pieces that aren't with that sled back in the pits.
We're under the caution here, and your leader in the Felsky Farms Mickey Factory Sled XLT Engineering sponsored 57. That's a Zack Dewald. Boy, he got on board and he drove it right to the front. And 114 laps in the books. He's your leader. Hoos Racing 67 second. DL Racing 29 third. The Countryside Racing 28 fourth. Applebee's 72 fifth. Pichet Racing 13 sixth. Kovar Pike Racing 34 7th. Tommy Bauer Racing 19 8th. Ken Swartz Racing 9th on the board now, 75. And 10th, the R&R Racing number 20.
Yes, some interesting points. 11th. Next up, the Town Brothers 2, just saw them off screen. They came pit side, so they are running in the 11th spot, and they came down into pit road to go a little bit off sequence. The Cataract Collision 21 has fallen back to the 12th position as well, so that's interesting what happened there.
I just noticed that on the board. Didn't have my eye on what happened with that one, so maybe some handling going away. There's one machine coming out of the pits. That's the 72.
Yeah, so that's also very interesting as the 72 team decides to go a little bit off sequence, and Andy Shoemaker gets on. So some good sleds, some competitive teams right now going to some alternate strategies with 135 laps to go.
That was interesting. They really moved their way up into on that 72, got up into the top 10, but so they'll go down a little bit here now. But like you'd mentioned, putting the pits out of sequence there as McCoy boys talking about their day. It's been an interesting one for sure.
So we're going to be monitoring this now for the rest of the race, with especially that 72 for Team Applebee's now a bit off sequence. They may have a chance to flip the front of the field here a couple of times based on the way they run things. They've now mixed up their driver lineup as well, with Shoemaker getting on for Jake Giroux. We're going to go green next time by. Everybody chasing Zack Dewald.
Be an interesting start on the outside. In that 67, they showing pretty good speed. LJ Quick on that Hoos Racing 67. He'll be right up alongside of Dewald. In behind there, Joey Birch on the outside of row number 2. So 3 fast sleds ready to go in the restart.
And as we get ready to go back to green flag, our Chris Reams is caught up down pit side with Carl Schwartz. Take it away, Chris.
Carl, you kind of pitted out a sequence there. Is this a certain strategy you got going on?
Yeah, it sure is. What we're trying to do here, we were looking for a late yellow in the session, which we got here at lap 115 or so, 5 to go, and we were able to come in what we call a short pit. So we were able to get gas and skis on and change our drivers. So theoretically, what we're hoping for now is when we go to the track plow in 5 laps or 4 laps, we'll be able to circulate up towards the front, hopefully lead a lap, get the 5 points that we need for leading a lap.
There you go, guys.
All right, thank you, Chris. We're back under the green flag, and a lot of action right here. Looks like that Countryside 28 way up the racetrack for Churchill.
Wow, did he ever go up the track there, and he lost a whole bunch of spots there as that thing went out to the bank there. Again, Dewald nailed the start. Joey Birch in second now as around that Hoos Racing 67. Their third spot, that number 67 on board, LJ Quick.
So the field working through, just heard about some of the alternate strategies as well that are going to be coming into play. Churchill has gotten that thing back under control. Now he'll make the attack on LJ Quick.
Those two have been just absolutely going at it all day here down here in Lincoln as they continue. The Hoos Racing 67 and the Countryside Motorsports. You see that one to come up now. Churchill had to settle that one down.
Churchill and Quick continuing to scrap over the third position. Dewald leads, and a good move off that restart put Joey Birch up into the second spot.
90-plus mile an hour. Boy, that's pretty tight race in there, Nate, is between Quick and Churchill there again. They're taking shots at each other there as they battle for that third and fourth spot.
They're following Birch just in front of them as well. Dewald has run 2 seconds clear up the road, by the way.
Almost a second quicker that last lap, a 26-second lap. That's really turning it on for Zack Dewald on board that Felsky Farms machine. Caution again.
Caution is out as this one might potentially be that plow break that Carl Schwartz was just telling our Chris Reams about. If there's not an issue on there, it is not. It may lead to that, but there is an issue as a sled has gone over, and it looks like it's the 48, the Warners for K&E Racing.
That machine up on its side there, the rider back to it's got it back down there, has plugged the tether cord in. Doesn't look to be damaged too heavily. Rider trying to get that one fired back up and back underway. He's got it started there.
So caution number 8 of the day with 129 laps to go, and now we're going to get to see with likely a plow brake that's going to get attached onto this. We are going to get to see some of these strategies from teams like the 72 and 2 that we just saw come down pit road during that last sequence. They're all going to get a chance to try to cycle to the front of the field.
You can see that Wade Warner, I think, on board there, that adjusting the steer, the bars there. He bent them down on that when that one tumbled there, but back underway. It doesn't look to be too heavily damaged. Is that Warner Brothers Racing, that number 48 machine?
Yeah, Wade and Trevor, the duo for that number 48 team, started 18th in this race.
We're under the caution here, in 122 laps complete. Pace sled slowly brings the field. You can see a little more dirt now starting to show as that groove there down the middle of that turn 4 there starting to get run in there pretty good.
Field gets directed to the inside of the racetrack, and there's a good look at exactly what you were just talking about.
good shot of that by our camera crew here. Great job as you can look and see what happens in that that area there, that kind of that turn 3-4 area. That's where that dirt's showing.
Interestingly, we saw in the Diesel Freaks junior races, as you see the plows onto the racetrack, so we will have these pit stops coming. A lot of the fast runners wound up using the outside lanes during some of the sprint racing this morning. And looking at the way that that groove's getting built in right now, we maybe are going to start seeing an outside lane start to develop around this racetrack as well.
Well, that's what happens as the enduro runs on. That's usually what the case that happens, is that lane will get pushed up the track, and where there hasn't been a lot of running. But we'll wait and see. Boy, Dewald, he was running down on the bottom of the track, running pretty darn quick.
All right, Zack Dewald leads them down into pit road. We are just about to the halfway point in the race. He'll get off. Larry Young Jr. will jump back on the Felske Farms 57 here.
See him go to work tight in that track, I believe, on the back of that Felske Farms 57. Dewald took some fuel and back underway. There's the Hoos Racing machine, Jordan Carlson on board.
Carlson getting back on, but this an extended pit stop right now as the team's making an adjustment.
Right front ski being changed on that one, as well as some fuel. And Carlson back out onto the track. So interesting, different strategies coming into play here.
Yeah, so that likely going to be a little bit of lost track position for Carlson and the Hoos team. We'll see if they're going to be able to claw some of that back. Great pit stop out front, though, for the 57. I'm very curious to see how things are going to all shake out right here. Remember, had some various teams, you see them at the front of the field right here, stay out under that last sequence.
We didn't see that number 57 take any a ski or anything, just looked to have fuel, and Dewald stayed on there. But you can see machines now coming in and skis being changed, so that dirt's starting to show on the track, taking effect on the carbide runners on the front.
Yeah, 42 of Berza and Spencer going to make a driver change and a ski change as well for the 15th running WV Polaris.
Good look at the crew going to work on that one. Fuel tank full and back out onto the race course here.
Yeah, they'll be on their way as we are to the halfway point right now. 125 laps in the books and to go in this race. So we're at the halfway point. Everybody has been now chasing the 57. Zack Dewald, he gave control back up to Larry Young Jr., though, at that last pit stop. And additionally, we're going to have to sort out a little bit of strategy movement as well at the front of the field, as the top three positions right now are going to go to the 20 of R&R Racing. They are your leader on that alternate strategy. The Town Brothers 2 is next, and then the 72 for Team Applebee's before you get to the Mickey's 57. So the top three positions, all off-sequence pitters.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen the interview with Carl Schwartz there, talked about they come in earlier and trying to get to lead a lap and get the points that they wanted to get. They're back fourth in line, I believe they are from the front there. But interesting, the different pit strategies out here. Staying out on the track, Andrew Terrell and Adam Weiler on the R&R Racing, Randy Humpert, number 20.
Yeah, Weiler was the starting driver for that team. And by the way, as we also just got to the halfway point, we just crossed an hour and a half in this race. So on pace for a 3-hour race. We've had 8 caution flags so far. It's going to be a real battle of survival if you're going to win this one. And down pit side, let's send it back down to Chris Reams here with another Greg's Tree Service pit report. Chris, take it away.
Cameron, you just got off the 42 sled. You're riding with Mike Berza this weekend. Talk to me about the Polaris that you're riding. Normally I like to see you on an Arctic Cat.
I'm just trying to figure it out. We fast sled, but I'm not getting through the corner too great. Just got to get more laps.
So do you guys actually have some type of a plan? Are you going to get back on the sled today?
I would imagine I'll probably get back on after this next segment here. Depending on how many cautions we get, we might throw him back on to finish the race.
Okay, so no secret strategy here. You're just going to go sequence with the plow brakes.
Yep.
All right, there you guys go. The 42 sled with Michael Berza and Cameron Spencer.
All right, thank you, Chris. As again, one of those team shakeups this weekend, Spanky, with the youngster Spencer jumping on the 42.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good rider, boy. We've seen him in the sprint program doing real well, and yeah, he's on board there. So
front of the field most certainly has been shaken up right here. The Town brothers moving into the second spot, sharing this front row with Adam Weiler, Andrew Terrell's R&R Racing, the 20 sled. They're off sequence right alongside the 72 for Team Applebee's. That has been one of the main talking points here of the last little bit, along with the outright speed that the 57 of Dewald has had. I mean, the rest of the field now mixed up that much more with this last pit stop, along with the pit strategy that has been worked in as well. Look at the Bauer 19. Luke Krentz back on to that sled. They've fallen back to 12th. They've been up and down the field on a little bit of strategy calls themselves, and there's the race leading 20 in the second place, number 2.
there's that Carl Swartz entry, the 72 there with Shoemaker back on board there, and hoping we'll see on that restart. They're going to want to try to get that one to the front and get those points for leading the lap. That was initially the plan.
Town and Weiler will be sharing the front row. Going to be interesting to see that Town Brothers Skidoo, the lone one from that mark in our field, get a chance to be at the front. We know they've got some speed normally. They started 15th in this race. They're 9th in points, but now on the alternate strategy, both of those teams get a chance to try to lead the way.
There's a view of a rider down, enjoying the race out here. Great conditions. Having some fun with that vintage Skidoo leather suit. That was pretty cool.
Will be 130 laps in the books next time by. Still under our second plow break of this race, and working our 8th caution flag of what's been kind of a mixed up race. A little tough to get some different pacing going on. And meanwhile, back down to the 28 pit. Let's send it down to Chris Reams. Chris?
I'm down here in the 28 trailer with Joel Febick. Joel, your sled has been running like crazy today. What's your plan? What's your secret? You got any strategy going forward?
Well, both racers are doing an excellent job today. The sled's super fast as always, and we're just hoping we can make it to the last lap today. So no special secrets, just giving her hell.
I tell you what, the 28 sled, they have something going on. Keep an eye on that 28 sled, and I think you're going to see something in the podium today.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Hey, on a separate note, thank you for everything that you guys do with Countryside and supporting MIRA.
Well, MIRA, this racing circuit, all these guys here, the racers and everybody, it's a great thing to do around here. This is pretty awesome what all these racetracks and all these guys put time into it. Race Network, MIRA board, the officials, like it takes an army, and these guys do really good around here.
I think there might be some celebrating at the end of the day. What do you think?
I hope that's with us on position 1. That's what I'm hoping.
All right, there you go.
All right, thanks, Chris. And Joel, of course, we echo everything that Chris said about our thank you to Countryside and what they do to support us here at the Race Network, the series, and beyond.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in a beautiful production trailer here, and as well the hot seats. The Countryside, they bring some trailers with hot seats that people can buy a seat in there to watch the races. A fantastic idea, as well as supporting race teams. Just a great job that Countryside Motorsports does.
Yeah, absolutely. So 119 laps to go remaining under the caution. The R&R 20 on the pit strategy has taken the lead. Town Brothers 2, then the 72 for Team Applebee's. That 28 we were just mentioning right now. Cam Vermash back behind the bars, and he is running 6th.
Majority of the teams back with the riders that started the races out here, so it's going to be a good old go here when we get the green flag back underway there. There's the Deschano machine back out on the track.
It looks like they now have gotten Trent Sorum onto that 16, so he'll get a little bit more experience out there with that team. The Mickey's 57, another kind of slow pit stop as Young gets on or actually, sorry, check that. They were able to be quickest off pit road. They just fall back to the 4th spot, obviously, on the same strategy I've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. I just all of a sudden forgot for a minute. But they drop to 4th on the strategy, and now Young gets ready to get on the sled.
Absolutely. Yeah, good look at the crowd here. Boy, everybody on the banks here having a good old time. Just a perfect day here as everybody having some fun and watching some great racing here at the oval here down in here in the fairgrounds.
Yeah, great afternoon in Lincoln. Of course, the weather did not cooperate with us whatsoever last Sunday, but everyone at MIRA making the decision, let's come back, run the race under the conditions that this facility and this event deserves, and put on a show so far, to say the least, on this Saturday.
It's absolute torture, the smell of that barbecue next to us there. That's not fair at all. Some clutch work going on, and you can see on that machine down pit side.
And that is the 48 team that we saw have the issue a minute ago, so they continue to do some work there on the Warner K&E Polaris.
Well, the plow is just about complete here. We'll run them down how they're going to restart here. Currently first on the board, the number 20 R&R Racing Polaris. Second, Town Brothers Skidoo, the number 2. Third, Applebee's 72. Fourth, the Mickey's Factory Sled 57. Fifth, the D&L Racing 29. Sixth, the 28 Countryside Motorsports Polaris. Seventh, Pichet Racing number 13 Polaris. Eighth, the Kovar Pike Racing Polaris. Ninth on the board, Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, the 21. Rounding out the top 10, that 67 Hoos Racing machine. That is your top 10. 11th on the board, Swartz Racing number 75. 12th, WV 44. 13th, Harris Racing 43. 14th on the board, the WV Racing number 42. And those are the machines on the lead lap here. One lap down, it shows here, as the 19 of Tommy Bauer Racing.
All right, 116 laps remaining, ready to go back to green, and things have been shaken up with that R&R 20 now leading the way with some pit strategy for the final 116 laps that we're going to have to continue to monitor at this point in time. The speed has been there with this 57 team, especially when Zack Dewald's been behind the controls, but now he gives back way to Larry Young Jr. again.
Yeah, we're moments away, I believe, as the plows are making their way. You can see some carburetor work going on in that Warner Brothers machine. There's some jetting being changed in that one. Warmer temperatures here create you got to you can get away and change the jetting in the cold conditions. You got to run more fuel into the engine, and you can lean it out a little bit here in the warmer conditions.
Yeah, so that team continuing to go to work and hopefully try to get their Polaris back onto the racetrack so Trevor and Wade Warner may have a chance to finish the race. They started 18th. They're having a pretty solid run before that latest issue. 135 laps are in the books at the Michigan Kenworth 250 here. Half-mile oval at the Alcona Recreation Area in Lincoln, Michigan. Just about 30 minutes drive inland from Oscoda along Lake Huron, just south as well, kind of on the other angle from Alpena, just south of Alpena, north of Oscoda on the angle there. So that's where we're at here in Michigan's Lower Peninsula on the MIRA Race Network, presented by Alta Equipment, and still waiting to go back under the green flag with an all-new top 3.
Well, if you're joining us, welcome on the MIRA Race Network. Hope you've enjoyed the race so far. We're just over halfway in, 136 laps completed, that last lap under the caution here. It's been a great day. There's been a few cautions and various leaders here. As again, we'll have a new leader. That 20 R&R Racing will lead the field back to the green flag here.
Great look at some kids here enjoying their day. I think that's actually Easton Giroux we saw on the track a little bit earlier on in that 72 branded back of the uniform, as Mark Jade is looking something over as well down by pit road.
Mr. Jade hasn't been dancing for us today. I don't know what's going on. He's
race day. It's all business.
Maybe he's pulled a hammy or something. Right. A couple of them moves there, a couple of those spin moves, he might have pulled a hammy.
It would not surprise me.
The cone, there's the cone out on the track as I don't think we're far away from getting back underway here. And the work continues on that 48 machine. It looks like the jetting, the change has been made there now, and
you can have a look at the team working, and they've got a rider potentially ready to get on as well. I don't know if that's either, but it's probably Trevor getting ready to jump back on that sled if they're able to get things underway.
Gaceville, Michigan, the hometown of the K&E Racing number 48, the Warner boys. So 1 to go. There's the signal. Next time by, watch for that pace sled to make that turn, the Michigan Painter pace sled, make that turn down pit road, and we'll be back underway.
So not only do you have the alternate strategy top 3, but also add in there's a couple of lap sleds in between Zack Dewald and the lead, and he's going to have the DL29 of Nick Wickerham right there. I guess check that it's not Dewald, it's now Young that's jumped on for Dewald, and he's going to have the other traffic then right behind him as well. So this is a very, very interesting restart if that 57 is going to be able to continue the sort of dominance they had during that last stint.
And you know that number 20 is going to want to stay out front. They're not going to want to give up that lead to, so it's going to be interesting for sure here as they see now Warner back on board, that 48 fired up, and we'll get her out onto the track.
Yeah, that's good to see for that team. All right, pace sled pulls off. Field now goes in the control of Adam Weiler, 31-year-old out of Bay City, will have the lead for the first time today. Matt Town goes to his outside, and they'll scrap for the top spot.
Yeah, 3 wide into the corner. Look at that. That Skidoo out to the lead. Town able to get through the middle, and he's down the back straightaway with the lead.
So the field's lone Skidoo now leading the way. It's Matt Town in front. Some lap traffic battling up for the second spot as there is a mess right here going on to the high side of the racetrack. Shoemaker trying to make something happen, looking to split past the lap traffic from Vermash.
Wow, that's cramped quarters here as they come down that straightaway, head towards that turn 2 area. Town, your leader, the 44 machine, is Kevin Vermash on board in second there, that WV racing machine.
Shoemaker has cleared into second, but Vermash, the lap traffic with a lot of speed, still hanging right there behind Matt Town, who leads the way. 109 laps to go at the line.
Yeah, 44 machine, a lap machine. They're currently 12th on the board in between there, so you can see Shoemaker here in the 72, your second place machine. But Town doing a good job, and the only Skidoo in the field here. Thing makes good power as he's down the back straightaway.
Vermash was fighting hard to get his lap back. Now he will fall into the clutches of Shoemaker, the second place runner. For the time being, holds Shoemaker off. Larry Young Jr. is up into third. He's right there as the 29 of Wickerham following him as well.
You can see the machines that ice tore down pretty good on that inside lane where that dirt started to show. You can see them, probably 6-8 inch drop there to that groove there now as the battle down that back straightaway.
Closing in on 100 laps to go. Matt Town out front on the alternating strategy. The lone Skidoo in the field currently still leading the way.
Larry Young challenging Shoemaker for that second spot. He'll fall back a little bit.
Vermash continuing to hang right in there. A lap down on the 44 and fighting to try to get that lap back. He'll be in the way of the attack and the assault right here coming from Shoemaker.
Wickerham and the 29 too, also part of that mix. They're all battling, pretty heated battle for those positions.
Vermash making a stab around the outside to get the lap back. Now it'll be Shoemaker all alone, and with some clear track, he'll have a chance to make a move as something came flying off. Maybe just a tear off the 2 right there. Shoemaker goes to the outside.
Wow, that was a real loose sled, that 44 there. Just about spit the rider off. He's able to get back in the saddle and stay on board. That one is Wickerham coming on now in that 29 in third spot.
Top 3 runners, the strategy right now working out for the 72 team. Move Andy Shoemaker to the top spot. He gets around Matt Town with 105 laps to go.
Shoemaker to the lead, Town second, but working the inside. That's Wickerham on that 29 trying to battle town for that second spot.
So things definitely working out, just as Carl Schwartz, who we talked to a minute ago, the crew chief on that 72 team, talked about what he wanted to see. Another move for position. Town will fall back to third. Nick Wickerham now up into P2.
Yeah, Wickerham doing a good job. Got around Town now. Town under siege there, the 21. That's Austin Leak back on board that Carteret collision Artie Cat.
Leak into the top three. He gets around Town. Anytime Leak has been on that sled, he's been absolutely charging, doing it once again here. He's up to the top 3 spots in his setting sail on Wickerham.
I think he thinks he's on his sprint Saturday here, the way he's driving that Artie Cat. Boy, really on the move. There's a good look at that Carteret collision. Rick Carteret and the gang there and on that 21.
It is a Saturday after all, so he certainly has been right at home as he's making this assault for Wickerham, who's right there. These are your top 3 right on the screen. Everyone chasing Andy Shoemaker.
Shoemaker doing a good job. He's a very fast rider out there and has that team Applebee's 72 running pretty good. Wickerham, he's been coming though. He's closing up on the back. Nick Wickerham in that number 29, the DL Racing Polaris.
And just behind this, the Countryside 28 with Vermash 5th, and then the 6th spot is where Young falls in the 57. Here is a move for the top spot. Wickerham to the inside, and DL Racing takes the lead.
Yeah, that thing hooked up, and when he turned it, it was on. It was hooked up and gone past out into the front. Nick Wickerham now your leader in that DL number 29. Nice pass.
So now it'll be Austin Leak trying to follow suit and get past the 72, this time for the second spot. For the time being, he'll wash up the racetrack and look to reset. It'll be 100 laps to go next time by.
You can see that Wickerham's got away on that second place machine as he's starting to get a pretty good challenge from Austin Leak. There's a look at the two of them there now as they head down off turn 3 to turn 4.
Leak getting caught up a bit on the bottom of the racetrack. He's got to look out for the charging Cam Vermash, who's right there, as well as they deal with the Brownlee boys' Bouveret traffic in front.
Safely through is Wickerham around that. You can see Austin Leak there trying to make the move around that Brownlee boys 77.
They split the difference here on Bouveret, and then Vermash was forced to get down the binders a little bit to the inside of the 77. He'll now clear, but lost some ground right there at Austin Leak.
There's a good look. The 28 machine starting to come back up. Cam Vermash starting to get back into the battle there. There's the Town Brothers number 2 around that 44. One machine that we've kind of lost for a little bit, that Hoos Racing 67, starting to move up, back up.
They're back currently in the 8th position after dropping a little bit in the whole mix of that last pit sequence. Nick Wickerham leads the way, 2.1 seconds right now over Andy Shoemaker. Here is the 67 splitting through some traffic, looking to move up into the 6th spot that Matt Town just in front has.
And Matt Town is doing a pretty good job on that skidoo there. There's a good look at Wickerham there. A nice close shot of him coming through there. Pretty smooth. A DL Racing machine running nice and flat through that turn 3 and 4 area.
Austin Leak running Austin Leak moves up into the 2nd spot. He got around Shoemaker on the 72, so Austin Leak now 2nd, 1.9 seconds back. He will try to track in Nick Wickerham with 97 laps to go.
Ran half a second faster that last lap. Austin Leak did than the number 29 Wickerham, so interesting to watch as he's certainly trying to march up and get alongside.
Leak has been one of the real standouts going around the Maciag 76 in terms of individual performance today. When he's been on the sled, the amount of speed he had, maybe a good audition run as well for some teams next year, because the speed that Austin showed today is something I think any team would want to see, and he is closing in. He's going to be there by the time they get back to the start-finish line.
He is closing in big time on Wickerham. Austin Leak on that 21. He's going to be alongside here as they head down into turn 1 and 2.
This a move for the lead from Austin Leak. He drove up to the lead from a 5th place starting position on his first stint, and doing the same right now from the back part of the top 10 in this stint.
What a battle it is. Wickerham able to hold off here and continue to lead. 155 laps in the books there. Here's a look at Wickerham coming out of turn 3. That front ski picks up slightly. Austin Leak on the outside of the track now.
Leak been pretty committed here now to the outside. He's going to have a run on Wickerham down the back stretch. Let's see if he can turn it into something on that 21 Cataract Collision Arctic Cat. For the time being, Wickerham has it covered off. Leak will send it around the outside, and Wickerham covers it off.
He showed the nose, but that was all as Wickerham recovered and able to keep him back behind. Caution flag flies.
Yellow number 9 of the day comes with 157 laps completed. And we'll wait and see what the issue is right here. It's the 16 again. This time Trent Sorum has left that sled stranded. It was an issue for Deshano earlier. Now the same can be said here for Sorum.
Looks like Sorum looking down under the track again. We've seen that machine earlier. It lost I think it was a rear idler. They went to work. The crew went to work on, got it back out, but maybe some more problems, I would think, with the track there, the way that Sorum off that, looking towards underneath the back of that machine.
So unfortunate for the 16 team going into that caution flag. They're running in the 19th position, had kind of an up and down day with some technical gremlins as well for First Deshano. Now the same can be said for Trent Sorum. Everybody chasing Nick Wickerham and the 29 for DL Racing, but Austin Leak is on a charge right now.
You can see some communication with the pits as he went through there, looking and pointing and nodding his head there. So, but yeah, Nick Wickerham, boy, he had a good run, but Austin Leak really coming on here in that second spot.
Leak has been impressive. I mean, he's probably been the one to match some of the drives that we saw Zack Dewald have on his first stint in terms of charging through the field, making moves happen. I mean, you know they've got a veteran team when you add Ryan Spencer to the mix with him, but Leak's been a bit of the standout so far for them so far.
Yeah, looking pretty comfortable on that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat. Troy Dewald, his final race day in the Enduro circuit here today. We honored the legend Troy Dewald here earlier, and Austin Leak stepping on for him.
Getting a report as well from Race Control, some track issues it sounds like for the 44 team. So they additionally currently having some issues as you take a look here at Larry Young, who has jumped on that 57, making his final stint as it'll be Zack Dewald at the next caution, taking that Polaris to the checkered flag. Young currently hanging on in the 5th position and just doing what he has to do as the 16 gets towed back towards the pits. Just doing what he has to do to put that sled in position for Zack Dewald later.
You can see the idler wheel missing on Deshano's machine there again. There's a Sorum on it there, you can see on the toboggan. So some problems with that rear suspension on that Polaris, the Deshano entry.
91 laps to go, and here is the 44 team we just mentioned with maybe some potential track issues. The WV team gonna go to work right now on that sled and try to diagnose the issue.
Here's a look at the Harris Racing 43 there as they're out on the track. Scotty Harris, I think that looks like Scott Harris on board. We're under the caution here, 160 laps completed of in the Michigan Kenworth 250 here down in Lincoln, Michigan. It's been a great day. Some fantastic racing, and we welcome everybody on the banks on 96.9 FM radio as well. Everybody on the MIRA Race Network, welcome aboard, and hope you're enjoying your day here.
Good look again here at the 44 team as they are continuing out some of that bottom side work that we just mentioned.
Looks to be adjusting a chain case there, or possibly something in the brakes there. Tough to see there, but Deshano looking underneath that machine there. Something amiss on that suspension. The track looks to be okay, but I think those back idlers have a problem with those back idler wheels.
Yeah, so work at the same time there for the 16 and the 44 crews, and we're going back to green with 88 laps to go next time by.
A couple of machines coming in pit side there. You can see the 75 Swartz Racing machine down pit side. Looks like they, I don't know if they tightened something up on that right ski or whatever, but back out underway.
Yeah, saw Jordan Erickson get out on the racetrack on the 26th. The alternate, the 3R for Pichet, their secondary sled, their young gun sled, as we called it, of Celestino, Henderson, and Kenzer back onto the racetrack as well.
Well, that was the plan, I think, entering today, to get the young riders some track time, some laps out here under race conditions, and that's been the case here.
All right, the field will be Nick Wickerham. Sorry.
Watch this restart, Nate.
They wait for Mark Jade. Here we go. Back green. Austin Leak around the outside. Good move to the inside there off a good start for the 28 of Vermash as well. They go 2x2 into 1.
Yeah, well, he had a little look on the inside, Vermash, but nailed the start pretty good. Austin Leak around out into the lead. Cataract Collision Arctic Cat. Wickerham second, but he's got a challenge on the outside. Vermash will slide up the track a little bit.
He was way up the track, and now he may fall into the potential grasp of Andy Shoemaker from behind in that battle.
Shoemaker running down on the inside of the track as Austin Leak. Now you can see that Wickerham got right there, but couldn't quite get by down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he'll have to figure out another way past right here, while he also has Vermash right there. Now it'll be Vermash going way up the racetrack again on the entry of 3 and 4. He seems comfortable right now up there, creating a little bit of speed and very willing to rip the top a little bit.
I think that's the plan. He is taking a look at how smooth that is up there. There's a look at the pit side of a busted chain case.
Yeah, that back with the 44 team that you can see on your screen, while the racing continuing right now. Out front, Austin Leak, Cataract Collision 21, led by 7/10 of a second. The last lap, let's see what it is this time past the stripe as the 29 chases him. The gap is now 1.3 seconds. A big wiggle on corner entry right there for Wickerham. Is going to allow Vermash to get right in his tracks.
That battle's heating up for sure. They're just a sled length apart there. So they head down the back straightaway, Wickerham, and on the gas is Vermash on that number 28, Cam Vermash, trying to grab that second spot away from Nick Wickerham, the DL Racing 29.
Vermash trying to lower line that time, working against Wickerham, who keeps the second spot for the time being. By the way, the Kovar Pike 34 is up into the 4th spot, as they also have pulled some strategy and have been just hanging around. Team Appleby 72 and 5th.
Yeah, they've quietly kind of worked their way up into the top 10 and marching their way to the front. So there was a little situation right there for Vermash as he had to get out of the throttle, and their side, but no, a little contact now as they come off the corner between Wickerham and Vermash.
Vermash took a stab around the inside, then sent it to the, or on the outside, then sent it to the inside, and that'll be enough for him to take the lead, or take the second spot. Move him past Wickerham here, and now he'll look to try to chase down Austin Lake.
There's a good look at that Kovar Pike 34 machine there, and you talked about them in 4th spot here, having a real good run right there.
Danny Mackey starting rider back on, along with Tyler Town and Austin Leak, with 81 laps to go next time by, leading the way by 1.7 seconds over the charging Cam Vermash in second.
Boy, Austin Leak looks real smooth there as he went through that corner nice and flat there around the track here. He's, like you'd mentioned, he's got a 1.79, almost a 2-second lead on a Countryside Motorsports number 28, your second place machine.
And now Danny Mackey right there looking for the bottom step of the podium. So that Kovar Pike team, as Spanky said, kind of quietly have creeped up the running order. Now right nearly into a podium spot as Mackey is working to find a way past Nick Wickerham.
Yeah, he had a good run there. He just kind of bobbled a little bit. He'll back up a little bit, but he's certainly challenging for that 3rd spot with that DL Racing number 29, Wickerham.
Gap first to second is 1.6 seconds. This is one of the closest battles on the racetrack. You get a look at it on back right here. They're battling for 5th and 6th behind as well. By the way, those are the 2 championships competitors battling for 5th and 6th between the 57 and 65. Just behind this battle, Mackey to the outside looking for a podium position.
Yeah, got a nice run on the outside off there. He's alongside now as they go down into turn 3 side by side. Wickerham will hold him off for now as there's Mackey right there on the outside. Wow, that's close racing.
And not giving up the fight, and this time Danny Mackey has a bit of a run. He'll try the outside again. Wickerham has it covered off for the time being.
Wow, they are just getting at it. There's Wickerham and Danny Mackey battling for that third and fourth spot there. Wickerham has third right now, but he's got a challenge again on the outside.
Mackey sends it around the outside. Can he make it stick this time for the third spot? He's going to be able to. So the Kovar Pike 34 has driven up into the top three.
Good job by Mackey. You see him work Wickerham for a few laps there, and he made the pass. One lap sled in between. That's the Brownlee boys 77 there now. Wickerham's got to find a way around, I believe, Haven Bouveret on board.
Battle for 5th and 6th just behind has been raging as well. Larry Young in the 57, followed just behind by the 67, who they, of course, have put Jordan Carlson back on control. They're working around that Brownlee boys 77 right now. These are the two championship battlers.
A picture of the 57, Larry Young on board that Mickey's factory sled, 5th on the board. Now, there's a good look at Larry Young on board that Felsky Farms XLT Engineering sponsored Polaris.
Wait for the goggles. He finds himself about 3/4 of a second back to the 4th place running DL29 of Wickerham just in front. Everybody chasing Austin Leak. He leads that guy, Cam Vermash, by 1.1 seconds.
You've seen Leak take a look there, trying to figure out where Vermash is there as he come down the straight and went around that Masiak lap sled there. There's a good look at Vermash there. He'll make his way around that number 76, the Masiak. Man, he out into the ice crystals there and lost some ground.
Yeah, ran up the track, then bounding there off that inside part of the racetrack, and the 34 right there. So a bit of an issue, and Danny Mackey may have a chance to exploit that.
Mackey's just been slowly making his way, march to the front there. Running real good, that number 34 machine there. He goes around on the outside as he's going to make a move on the outside again. He stays on the throttle.
Wow, split the lap traffic, then used a second wave of traffic as a pick. Gets around Vermash, moved Danny Mackey up into P2 with 74 to go.
What a pass that was for Mackey. Now second spot for that Kovar Pike number 34. The Cataract Air Leader, the Cataract Collision Arctic Cat, 176 laps completed.
5th and 6th right here, Larry Young, Jordan Carlson, the top two in points right by each other on the racetrack, and make it a 3-horse battle as well. The 4th spot, DL Racing, the 29 of Wickerham, is right under this blanket as well. And don't count out the 19 for Tommy Bauer Racing. Saw Luke Krentz come into the picture as well. This is a 4-sled race from 4th to 7th.
Well, that battle's going on, and we start to when we have long sessions of racing like this, then that pit strategy is going to start to come into effect here. As long as that caution flag stays in there, there's you can see right there, there's Wickerham, the 29, and Larry Young in that 57 trying to get up alongside that DL Racing Polaris. Nick Wickerham down on the inside as Larry Young works the outside lane. Down the back straighter around Masiak there now as we head here now. 178 laps completed here in the Michigan Kenworth 250. Austin Leak now into some lap traffic there as he's got that Cataract Collision Arctic Cat really handling well and moving well out there. Last lap for Austin Leak at 27.595. That's the fastest lap I see on the board there, so he's certainly really moving with that number 21.
All right, we continue under a long green flag, and I think a good chance as well to debut a new segment right here on the MIRA Race Network presented by Alta Equipment. Hearing protection required. We're going to lay out and we're going to let these sleds tell a bit of the story right now and get you right down trackside with the sounds of the Michigan Kenworth 250. Like an issue and a caution flag. So right as we were looking to key into that, an issue is going to bring out our 10th yellow of the race, and it's the Masiak 76 again.
That one rolled to a stop there right down on the front straightaway. Masiak will pull that tether cord, and I don't know, some mechanical, maybe some motor issues with that one. Just the hand went up and he rolled it to a stop there. Looking down into the clutch area there, maybe a blowing belt on that one.
Yeah, there have been a couple issues for the duo of Scott and Cale today on that Articat, and this will add on to the list today. We are inside 70 laps to go and now have our 10th caution flag of the day.
Looks like a clutch problem there, belt problem to me, as Masiak pulled the cord and the engine didn't look to be stuck, but possibly grenaded a belt there as the pace sled will be out, and they'll tow back Masiak back pit side.
So he'll get that tow here. The whole field right now chasing the 21 of Austin Leak in Cataract Collision. How about the run for Danny Mackey up into P2 for Kovar Pike? They run second. Countryside, the 28 with Cam Vermash third. Larry Young in fourth, the 57 for Mickey's Factory Sleds fifth, the 29 right now with Nick Wickerham at the controls. The Who's Racing 67 with Jordan Carlson. The 19 with Luke Krentz is in seventh. Eighth, Team Applebee's with Andy Shoemaker. Ninth, the Pichet 13. They've put McCullough back behind the controls. And then Matt Town is in the 10th spot.
I'll tell you, what a drive right there, that 34, Danny Mackey. That thing, we slowly watched him work his way up into the top 10 and just stayed right there and eventually made that move around there. Has that thing running real well in second behind the 21, Austin Leak.
I'm excited to see he and Leak get a chance to battle at the front of the field here, quite likely as well, because both of those guys have been charging all race long. Right now, Larry Young doing his job, keeping the 57 right where it needs to be, up into the fourth spot, and ready to hand over pretty shortly here to Zack Dewald.
Yeah, I think strategy in that team. Larry Young did a good job, jumped on there, and Zack Dewald had that machine out front there, and I think that's the plan, just to keep it in the top 5 and bring it home for the final 50 for Zack Dewald.
And you see the plow trucks are out onto the racetrack, so that means our final pit stops, final driver changes are on the way here. So the final stint is coming, and this is going to be it. We're going to set up one last chance to make final adjustments, final driver changes. It's all coming right here. The sleds working their way down pit side right now.
Good look at the plowing vehicles on here. Super job by the plow truck gang. Probably got us on board in 96.9 FM there. Hello to all the plow drivers. Some work going on that DeWald Cataract Collision machine.
Ryan Spencer gets on for the home leg as Austin Leak will give way. The 34 will swap things out to Tyler Town as well to make the final run towards the finish.
Wow, what a battle that is. There's a good look again at the crowd here, having a good old time here down in Lincoln, Michigan here.
Hardy crowd in some cases. Probably might have been with us a week ago, of course, with some of the weather unfortunately not allowing us to take the green flag. But everyone that has come back today has been treated to some terrific weather, and beyond that, even some unbelievably terrific racing.
Yeah, it's been fantastic here, and you know that track holding up quite well. We've seen a little bit of dirt in that one corner, but the rest of it, there's the number 20 machine there now going to work on that Polaris. Adam Taylor, Adam Weiler on the R&R Racing number 20 Polaris. Good shot of a ski change there, left ski, some fuel.
Yeah, so they'll get Weiler off. They'll put Terrell back likely on to that sled here if they decide to make a swap, or maybe they might even let Weiler take that one to the checkered. We'll double check on that. 65 laps to go as the R&R team is off and running once again. Remember, they led at the last restart off some pit strategy.
Probably going to give a shout out to a buddy from up the I-500, John Wick's partner down Pit Road, Isaac Wolfgang. You know that he's back home in Michigan. I would guarantee watching here on the MIRA Race Network. So hello to him and the gang, the Wolfgang, Ted, and hope everybody's doing well.
Absolutely. 65 laps remaining. Masiags trying to restart. The 76 Arctic Cat right now have a good look at exactly that going on as the field will be chasing the 21 as Ryan Spencer has jumped back on. You see some lap traffic that's going to be in the way as well with that 3 sled.
A little calisthenics going on there. That number three machine. I don't think I've ever seen that. Is maybe an ankle or whatever just stiffening up.
Meanwhile, back down pit side, looks like Chris was maybe working on getting an interview. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with the Warner team in just a moment as well. And we're going to be able to do that right now. And let's send it back down to Chris Reams of the 48 team.
So a while ago, we videotaped or filmed your pit stop. You were in here for quite some time. We saw the carburetors come off. We saw some ski adjustments and stuff go on. Can you tell everybody, walk the public through what you guys are trying to accomplish?
So the sled wasn't getting any fuel, so we went with a bigger jet, and it ended up running a lot better this time around. And we changed the ski angles. That way it wasn't pushing so hard coming into the corner, and we seems to fix that. So
everything is going as planned with all the fixes you took?
Not quite as planned, but she's running now, so that's good.
There you go, guys. That's what they did in the 48 pit.
All right, thanks, Chris. So good update on some of the things that we were highlighting a minute ago with that team.
Yeah, absolutely. The Warner boys, they're a great race team out of Gatesville. They're a young rider. I don't have the name straight. I don't know if that's Trevor or Wade, but I know it's one of the Warner boys there. They all look the same, too. A great group.
Yeah, a talented couple of young drivers for sure. We've seen that when they've gotten a chance in some other forms of sport, as well as being 2 young guys jumping right into this level. And we got some cleanup duty being done right now pit side.
The young fella's doing a super job in his pit area. Got to get a horn on that thing. Tell that he's got some trouble in his way there. That's pretty sweet. Mm-hmm.
All right, and let's send it back down to Chris Reams once again. Sounds like he is caught up with Nick Wickerham, who's just jumped off that DL Racing Polaris.
Okay, Nick, you were out there in that last segment. You guys, when I say you guys, the 67, the 29, the 28, and the 21 were battling. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, the track's really good. Everyone's running each other really smooth. You know, nobody's cutting each other off. It's a lot of fun. It's the 3rd segment, so we're just trying to keep the sled safe. And for the 4th segment here, give it to Joey and see what we can do for make it to the end.
So talk to me about the track. How's it looking out there?
Track's really good. Just a couple dirt spots down here in 4, and then 2 has 1 or 2 little spots. But no, I mean, there's plenty of ice. If you're not running in the ice, you're not using your head.
There you go, guys. There's a secret for the 29 team.
All right, thanks, Chris. And good to hear as well the update there from Nick on where the racetrack is right now. And, I mean, obviously, overall, really happy with the way things have held up here at Lincoln.
Absolutely, yeah. They've had a strong day here for sure. Cody Bauer back on the Bauer Excavating 19 there. Looks like Colin Henderson on the Pichet Racing number 13.
That Bauer 19, after the pit stops, they are up into the 5th spot right now, and I think we actually might get a word with that team in a second here once Chris gets some things said as he's still hunting some interviews down pit side. Let's send it back down to Chris Reams right on cue. He has got Luke Krentz fresh off that 19.
So, Luke, I'm looking over at the board over there. It says the 19th and 5th place. That was due to you in that last segment. Walk me through it.
Yeah, we made a belt change, and we picked up a lot of speed. We were struggling early on, but now we got some straightaway speed. Makes it a lot easier.
So do you think you got something here for the end?
We might. It'll be interesting.
There you go. Belt change and got her going again in the 19 pit.
All right, thanks, Chris. Our Kinross winners, that Bauer Racing 19. And, I mean, if there's one guy that we know can nail restarts, it's the veteran rider Cody Bauer. Boy, he was impressive en route to that win in Kinross. If he can put that kind of performance in again, I would not be surprised to see that team pick up their 2nd win of the year.
Interesting, just a belt change to do that much. You know, maybe a belt just a fraction of an inch longer, and you wouldn't get the same or shorter. I'm not sure which, but to make a belt change like that and make that much of a difference, boy, that's big for that team.
Yeah, certainly is. So Cody, hard to miss him in the all neon, along with the all mostly neon sled, is ready to go to work here.
Safety first. You want to be as bright as you can riding on one of these machines out here. Certainly we know when Cody Bauer's on there, that bright yellow suit. A good look at everybody in the on the banks there. Flash your lights if you got us on in 96.9 and let us know. Look at that. The lights are lighting up there, so we got a few people with us enjoying the day here. It's been a great race so far. It's 190 in of the scheduled 250 here, the Michigan Kenworth 250.
All right, 160 laps to go, or 6 laps to go. Send it back down pit side.
Is out here on the track. Talk to me about that sled.
Yeah, no, it's working well today. Track's holding up great. We had to do a little clutch work here. We were down a couple hundred RPM, but I think we're on track.
How's that track looking out there for you guys? I know they put some substance on it at the beginning of the race. Does that come into play?
A little bit. Seems to get stuck on your goggles a little bit, but not bad. You can wipe it right off. Track's holding up really good. There's some dirt out there, but plenty of spots to avoid it. So
there you guys go from the 2 pit. Matthew Town, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. And, update there, how that track's holding in, how the team's put together, as well as another update following up on the visibility conditions. And sounds like everything all set in that regard.
Yeah, that only skidoo in the field, but, boy, they were running strong there, the Town brothers on that team there. Butler Excavating sponsored molten asphalt skidoo racing. The only skidoo in the field here today.
All right, field is getting aligned, so plow is done, and we are ready for our final stint. 58 laps to go in the MIRA season, and everybody now chasing Ryan Spencer as he has jumped on the Cataract Collision 21.
I'll tell you, the way we've seen the lead changing hands here, it's going to be quite a finish. Here, you don't want to leave here. If you're on board, get yourself a refreshment and get back to your television there. It's going to be a great finish. And if you're on the banks here, it's going to be a fun time here as we wind down on the Michigan Kenworth 250.
The team looking to win it for Troy Dewald, honored before the race as he retires from ice endurance snowmobile racing, and it's his fellow veteran rider Ryan Spencer that'll look to try to bring it home.
Well, Ryan Spencer, certainly that name in racing, that's a top name. Certainly a capable rider to bring it home here. 1 to go, the signal here.
It'll be Tyler Town now to his outside, the 34 for Kovar Pike. They've taken that Polaris all the way to the front of the field. And now Tyler Town, who was the winner of the Pro Shootout back at I-500 week, back with his Town Brothers team that week, but a very, very fast driver himself. He'll be the one that has to try to find a way past Spencer for the lead to complete the march to the front for the Kovar Pike boys.
Boy, this is going to be quite a restart here as the riders are heading to watch for that pace sled to make that turn, and I think we're going to be back underway here very soon.
It will be 56 laps to go at the line. That is all that remains in this season. On the MIRA Race Network, presented by Alta Equipment here.
Here we go. That pace sled will make that turn. You can see it make the turn down pit road, and watch for Spencer to bring them to the line.
All right, Ryan Spencer now will have the lead after Austin Leak drove that 21 right back to the point. A hungry field just behind the wait for Mark Jade. Here we go. Green flag is out. Good restart for Tyler Town. Gave a little bit of a hip check right there on the entry of 1. Town goes around the outside, and Tyler Town goes to the lead.
Yeah, what a move by Town. You can see a little bit of contact there, but coming back, Spencer, look at him on the inside. That Cataract machine's got a lot of straightaway smoke on the outside. That's the 28 machine making a move right around on the high line.
And here comes Eric Churchill. Here comes Zack Dewald. They're going to stick it in there 3 wide for the second spot.
Wow, look at that. That is absolutely close racing there. Dewald in there. Boy, oh boy. Mackey able to, or I should say Town able to hold off the challenge. Churchill there on the inside of that 28. Dewald was right in the middle. He was the jam in the sandwich there. Wow. That was close.
And here comes Dewald ripping around the top, sliding out to the line, across the stripe. That time by, it's Zack Dewald by a nose to the lead.
Holy smokes, what a pass that was. He stayed with it. That thing got a little bit loose, but he able to collect it, and he's out in front there. That Felski farm machine, boy, a lot of power on the straightaway.
Picking right up where he left off on his last stint, but don't count out Eric Churchill. Churchill right there. He will now begin the counterattack for the top spot.
Town will settle back in third in that 34 machine there. There's your leader, Zack Dewald, on board that Mickey's Factory sled Polaris.
Dewald over Churchill, over Town, over Spencer right now. The championship points leading 67 with LJ Quick, the local Alpena native, back behind the controls. He is fifth, so keep that in mind for the championship as well. Right now, we came in razor thin, 58 points the difference between the Who's Racing 67, the Mickey's 57, and they're going to be that much closer right now. The battle continuing on for the third spot is the Kovar Pike 34 will continue to run around in the bottom podium spot in front of Spencer.
Boy, low 26-second laps for your leader there. That's really twisting the throttle here for sure. Around this half mile here in Lincoln, Michigan, we completed 199 laps. It'll be 200 next time by, 50 to go.
LJ Quick starting to enter this battle for third and fourth is he's going to look to try to take the fourth spot from Ryan Spencer. 50 laps to go at the line, a wipe of the goggles for Quick, and he will try to find a way to get past Spencer again.
You can just see that the Town just kind of settling in that third spot there. He's got a bit of a challenge coming. Spencer in the Cataract Collision, number 21, wanting that third place spot. In tow right there, that's the Who's Racing 67. That is your top five right there.
Zack Dewald has the lead up to nearly 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds the gap last time by. Back to Eric Churchill. This is third, fourth, and fifth.
These machines running one little slip, boy, and you can certainly head backwards. As good job on the outside of the track there now, as you can see Spencer starting to get a bit of a challenge from that 67 to Quick.
He had a dart across the track on entry of 1 and 2 with Quick starting to make the move, and Quick will get a second chance at it. LJ Quick tries the outside, gets on the binders. Spencer stays in front for the time being. This is fourth and fifth.
Yeah, LJ Quick's coming on the outside. He's having a look. He had a good look on the outside now as Spencer works it through them bumps there. He's right there. LJ Quick, he'll bobble a little bit as the battle heats up there for that fourth and fifth position.
Lead, by the way, has stayed pretty consistent. Still 1.9 seconds back from Dewald to the second place runner, Eric Churchill. Here is a look at Zack Dewald out front as he's starting to deal with some lap traffic. They battle again still in this mix-up for third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, who can pick their way through that lap traffic? That's so critical as these riders now. There goes Town. He'll make his way around one.
They're dealing with that traffic right now. Spencer, a good move. He'll get to the inside, and Ryan Spencer is able to opportunistically move in front of Tyler Town. Great use of the lap traffic from the veteran rider there.
Yeah, veteran move. He just kind of read that and waited and then mashed the throttle and gets through. He's got that Cataract 21 there now, up into that third spot. 204 laps in the books here.
Eric Churchill rides 2 seconds off the lead right now. He works lap traffic against the Bouveret and Brownlee boys 77. Able to make the move to the inside and continue his charge for Zack Dewald, who was very clean that last time. Dewald now 4 seconds up over second place, so he's working traffic a bit better right now. 45 laps remaining. Here is Zack Dewald working the lap traffic. He's caught up to Nathan Joseph and the Schwarz Racing team. He'll work his way around Joseph now. Who's Racing 67 is getting into the mix. It's to the inside. LJ Quick makes the power move on Tyler Town, and you can cycle him up now to the fourth spot. So the local rider, LJ Quick, is on the charge. He's up into 4th and move the Kovar Pike team back to 5th now, as Quick will look to set sail on a podium position.
Wow, everybody making a charge here now as the laps start to wind down here. We've completed 207 laps of the 250. Look at that machine right sideways. Was that that's LJ Quick on board that machine, or Carlson, Jordan Carlson, I should say.
It is Quick. He's jumped back on at that last pit stop for Carlson. It is Zack Dewald out front. The lead is ebbing and flowing. It's back down to only 2 seconds. He, in traffic, got it up to 4, now back down to 2. So Eric Churchill not fully going away.
No, they continue. It's been a good day for that Countryside Motorsports 28. Churchill on board there. Zack Dewald picking his way through some lap traffic, and they continue to be a battle for that lead here.
It's only 42 laps to go. Let's see what the gap is going to be this time around. It's 2.6 seconds, so about a half a second gain that time by Zack Dewald through the ebbs and flows of traffic. It's that Warner 48 back on track, as right now that's what's being dealt with by Eric Churchill, looking to move ahead.
Yeah, Churchill caution out now again as it flies here, lap 209.
This is our 11th of the day, and it's an issue for Jake Giroux in the 72, and Giroux is off the sled and a little shaken up as he's going to have to hobble his way back down towards the pit. So another shaken up rider off a big moment, as we've had a couple of times today. This time it's Team Appleby 72.
Yeah, I don't know what might have happened there. It doesn't look like that machine tumbled hard, but Giroux favoring looked like his ankle there on that one, as he'll try to get back to that sled and tip it over. And
Giroux fighting it, but he's been able to flip it over. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue, though. Certainly, as a rider, he's a bit shaken up and still having some issues.
And the caution fly is flags out here. 210 laps in the books. An incident with that Team Appleby's number 72, Jake Giroux, off the machine. And
this is caution number 11 of the race.
You have to wonder if something happened to that machine. He's not trying to get it fired or anything, so did it lock up and spit the rider off? You'd have to wonder if that maybe was the case. What went on there is no effort to try to get that one fired back up.
Yeah, no effort there, and certainly I think the MIRA medical team may want to have a word with him as well.
It looks like the track, maybe some track missing there, maybe another track gone, would be my guess. You look there, you can see the tunnel, how it's bent under there. I think that track's grenaded on that machine, Giroux there. You see where the 72 is all bent under there, so track's grenaded on that one. Good to see Jake Giroux walking around a little bit better. I'm sure you're going to feel that one tomorrow morning, but I think that might be the end of it all for the Team Appleby's 72. It looks like that track is missing a few pieces of rubber.
I know that's a great eye to pick that up, Spanky, as Jake continues to await some assistance, but regardless, good to see him back to his feet. And now Eric Churchill will get a reset as he has to try to find a way past Zack Dewald. And I think the way that the 57 has been able to run on the long runs, if you're going to win this race, you're going to have to do it on the long run. We've got to look here at the 72. Oh, yeah,
it looks like that track derailed there would be my guess, is that on that one, as you can see that it's really crooked in there, so a good view of a derailed track.
Absolutely, but point I was making there is I think if you are going to beat Zack Dewald with the speed that the 57 has had, I think you're going to have to do it on the restart. I think it's going to make these restarts that much more chaotic and hectic a bit as well, because if you're going to get past that 57, the speed they've had in the long run, I think you're going to have to make it happen right on the restart.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Boy, the snow is starting to come come down here again. We don't need any more of that. No. We're back here another weekend, but it's been a great day. I'll tell you, what a day of racing here, and what a finish we're going to see, because there's a handful of machines that have had good, strong runs here, and luck goes your way. You can get there.
Yeah, if you want to tell people how bad the weather in Michigan has been the last couple weeks, just tell them that we had a snowmobile race, snowed out last week. That's how bad the weather's been the last few weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard it like that. Yeah, that's a good point, Nate.
37.
You get a snowmobile race. You get a ball game rained out. You get a snowmobile race snowed out. That's something.
But we are going to have a classic finish, certainly, coming up in this one. Zack Dewald having a word right here with Eric Churchill. They will share the front row. It will be 36 laps remaining when they come to the stripe. Look at the 72 track.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, you can see it's derailed there. The slide suspension not in the grooves where it's got to be, where the track guides are there. It's completely slid sideways, the back idler wheel missing, and that's why it's bent, that aluminum on that 72.
All right, here we go. Green is back out. Dewald, good jump, great jump from the 75 as well out of that second row. One of the lap sleds. Churchill hanging with Dewald around the outside. Dewald will have an answer, and Zack Dewald to the lead.
Wow, look at that. You can see Ken Swartz got a bit of pretty good restart there, but he'll fall back a little bit now trying to get a lap back, but on the gas is that number 57, Zack Dewald. But I'll tell you what, that 28 sled's been strong all day. Eric Churchill driving the heck of that thing.
Bit of a shake-up on the start. The Cataract 21 with Spencer going down. A big slide on corner entry for LJ Quick, and a caution flag is out. I think I saw some sleds having an issue on the entry of one right there.
Yeah, the caution did fly there, so don't know what one machine here you can see on its side here.
Yeah, you get a look at it right now. I think the rider is off the sled, but a big moment right there because that was really a top speed sliding into turn one issue right here. We'll get an identification. Oh, it is the 75, so it is the problem for the Schwarz Racing 75 that we just saw have such a good restart right there.
The rider looked to be favoring his ankle or leg area there a bit, the machine on its side there.
So we're back under the caution flag again for the 12th time today. Now 34 laps remaining.
I think that's Nathan Joseph would be my guess, the Goulet River native on that, limping back to that machine now.
So Joseph and the MIRA officials will get the 75 back the right side up, and we'll see what sort of damage that he's going to be working with. Hopefully going to be able to get that sled back towards the pits as they'll get it hooked up to the tow sled and do just that.
Didn't see what happened with that one, but he's got it back. He's got the tether cord back in, got it fired back up. So the machine doesn't look to be too damaged very badly. Here's a replay of it here now.
That'll be a good look on a Ritchie repair replay.
75 down on the inside there. Just as that telephone pole was there, that you can see it just, wow, he went right across in front of everyone. Boy, good job by all the riders to avoid any contact, as that one is just, the thing just tipped up and over she went.
Yeah, it's good to see that everyone's able to avoid Nathan. He's back up under his own power as well and has the sled back into the pits now, as well as you see him under his own power, fighting his way down pit road, and they'll make a ski change there on the right front side. So Joseph hops off. A little hobbled is Ken Schwarz, the team owner, jumping on.
Feeling the effects of that when he went over on his ankle. I think he launched off there pretty hard there, so good to see that there was no contact with Nathan Joseph there on that one. But boy, that happened so quick. You could just see that it was all good, and then a split second later, the rider's off.
Shake up right now on timing and scoring. The 34 for Kovar Pike Racing now listed as the leader in front of the the Mickey's 57, the Countryside 28. I don't know if that's just a timing issue, if there's something here under the caution that we maybe missed at the front of the field that took place with those leaders that moved the Kovar Pike 34 to the top spot. But that currently what, as you can see, timing and scoring says is the leading sled. I don't think that's the case, though, because the field has come into alignment, and it is going to be Zack Dewald leading the way to the green flag. Eric Churchill to his outside. Dewald, great jump on the restart, and Zack goes to the front again. Eric Churchill will follow him in second. LJ Quick breaks free of that little pack of sleds and moves up as here is the fight for the top spot. Churchill goes to the inside. They muscle ski to ski. And on the outside, for the time being, Zack Dewald will prevail. 30 to go at the line. Churchill minding those bumps, keeping the attack here on Dewald right in the tracks, and Churchill not going away.
Yeah, what a battle. It's been a battle all day here. Those are two quick machines out there. Churchill right there, one little slip, you lose your concentration for a split second, and I'll tell you, somebody's right there, but there's nobody finer than Zack Dewald and Churchill out there. Two really strong runners as well. That 29 machine right in the thick of it there, the Hoos Racing 67 also right there.
LJ Quick, the championship leaders in third, and doing a good effort, and if they're able to pick up a top three finish and becoming the champions for this season. Out front, Zack Dewald has the lead by 0.7 of a second for a couple laps in a row over Eric Churchill.
One machine that has been hanging around and currently fifth on the board, that Pichet Racing number 13. They've finishing strong here as we complete lap 222 here.
You can add the Bauer 19 into that mix, just one spot back in sixth as well. They've been hanging around looking to put together a good finish. Eric Churchill looking to put together a really good finish, trying to take that top spot away from Zack Dewald. Just 27 laps remaining.
Yeah, Dewald through the corner. Churchill right there, though, is like you'd mentioned, just about 3/4 of a second advantage. That first place, that's the distance, 3/4 of a second right there on your screen. As Dewald will come off turn 3 out of 4 to the line.
Churchill has been fast, that team. I mean, the way their race started, Cam Vermash went 13th to the lead in that first stint. They've had that sort of speed, but the same can be said driving up and down through the field for Zack Dewald in the 57, as Mickey's Factory Racing looks to go back-to-back wins to end this MIRA season.
He's opened up a bit of a lead there now as Dewald will come off that turn 3 and 4 again and put lap number 225, I believe, in the books right there as he crosses over. Yeah, 25 to go.
He was able to gain a lot there. It was 0.8 of a second the lap before, up to 1.6 seconds. So he was essentially 0.8 of a second faster that time around. But then dealing with lap traffic, Churchill's right there.
Yeah, Dewald had to come up on the Town Brothers skidoo there, and he's got company right there. Is Churchill on the back end.
So the ebb and flow of traffic has given Eric Churchill a great chance for the lead again. We are inside 25 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that right there. Look at that. As that Felsky Farms XLT Engineering Mickey's Factory Sled 57 leads, but the Countryside Motorsports Polaris is right there knocking on the door.
They'll slip to the inside of Bouveret. Churchill's got a good run for the lead right here. He'll try the outside.
Yeah, he's taking a different line as he bounced his way into the corner. Just taking a look at Churchill at different lines. They're trying to figure out a way to get up to the Dewald or get by him.
So a bit of a slip on corner exit from Dewald, and now Churchill will again try up the racetrack to make something happen right here as they are getting ready to come up on the JB Performance 26.
Churchill lost a lot of ground there. He got out into the snow ice crystals there, and he lost some ground. There's the Hoos Racing 67 machine. That one currently in third spot on the board.
Yeah, the battle for third and fourth right there with Quick along with the chasing DL29 of Joey Birch. We'll keep an eye on that battle as well. 29 laps to go. Out front, good work through traffic last time by Zack Dewald. Was able to stretch the lead to 1.4 seconds in front of Eric Churchill. And then that last lap, he added nearly another second. 2.3 seconds now the gap. So Dewald, a couple of great laps working the traffic.
Great shots by our camera crew here today, boy. I give these guys credit. They get a great view, just like you can sit at home and watch this racing. There's DeWald working the bars there now as he'll bring it down off that turn 3 and out of 4 to the line.
It will be 20 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Churchill was able to get a couple tenths of a second back, 2.1 seconds that time across the stripe. The closest battle is for 3rd and 4th between Who's and DL Racing.
Churchill just absolutely driving that thing, trying to find a way to get up to that XLT Felsky Farms 57 there. And Zack Dewald, on the other hand, hand up now. That's, I believe that's Haven Bouverette, that Brownlee boys number 77.
I believe you are correct. We'll see if it brings out a caution or not. For the time being, we're going to be able to stay green with inside 20 laps to go. Some side-by-side battling is the laps traffic, 26, causing a bit of an issue.
Yeah, that was close there. You could see that the 29, Joey Birch, had to go way on the outside to avoid contact as it was pushed out from that sled that slowed onto the track.
Bouverette back into the pits, and Eric Churchill, ebb and flows of traffic. He's within 1.6 seconds now of the lead. This is the battle you're looking at for 3rd and 4th. LJ Quick has it. Joe Birch trying to take it away from him. Zack Dewald out front, 1.6 seconds in front of Eric Churchill. You can see the gap, just one lap sled. The Town 2 is in between them right now. 17 to go across the line, 1.3 seconds the gap. Churchill still unable to clear Town, however. That's going to wind up hurting him.
The snow coming down a little heavier here now, Nate, as we wind down to finish. It's going to be a heck of a one. There's Churchill around the Town brothers number 2.
With a wipe of the goggles, Churchill goes around the outside. We'll see how much ground he possibly lost that time dealing with the traffic to Zack Dewald. At 16 to go at the line. He didn't actually lose it all. Dewald got held up at the same time. There's less than a second between it. 0.8 of a second, the gap for the lead.
Wow, Snow Machine Endurance racing at its finest right there. Look at that as you can see Dewald there now trying to pick a way through some lap traffic here. And he's got company right on his tail there.
Clean sight of traffic between the 57 and the 28, and as Dewald is trying to work past the R&R 20, this is the time where Churchill's got to go. Dewald still can't get by that Polaris in front, trying to put him a lap down, and Churchill is going to close in that much more. He could be right there by the time they get back to the line.
235 in the books. It'll be 236 this time by as the machine's down that back straightaway.
Churchill is there, the R&R 20 causing some havoc right now for Zack Dewald trying to pick his way through lap traffic. Eric Churchill's right there.
You've seen Churchill, he's been good in traffic earlier, getting around his, wow, that's continuing as Zack Dewald continues to lead Churchill, but now Dewald to the outside of that R&R Racing number 20.
Dewald just doing all he can to feverishly get by the 20, tries the outside, washes up the racetrack. Here comes Churchill to the lead.
Churchill, Dewald got up into the marbles and he lost traction. Churchill shoots out to the front and he'll go by on the inside of that number 20. Wow, what a pass that was. Zack Dewald got up into the loose stuff.
13 laps to go and an issue for the 29 at the same time. Out of the 4th position, a problem for the 29 of Joe Birch, and the caution flag is out. 13 laps to go and our 13th yellow of the race.
Looks like another track gone on that 29 DNL Racing machine. You can see that, but boy, I'll tell you, that's tough luck for Churchill. You made that awesome pass, and now we're going to be under the caution here. That was an amazing pass by Churchill on that one. Joey Birch, that DNL Racing, that's a track exploded on that machine. That'll be it. That's all for the DNL Racing Polaris.
That's an unfortunate end for that Fly Racing, Woody's Racing Products Good Boy Vodka team, as a good run for them in this one, and Their streak of finishing third is going to come to a close. They were third in Kinross, third at the I-500, third in Gaylord, and unfortunately for the DL team, it'll be the end of that streak, and we're going to get a green flag with inside 10 laps to go as some of the debris getting picked off the racetrack right now.
Yeah, you know that that track let loose on that, so we'll have a cleanup here, and we are going to have a heck of a shootout for the win.
Incredible racing between Eric Churchill and Zack Dewald. It was Churchill through the traffic that was able to take the lead on a gutsy sliding move, splitting the difference, going to the front. And now Dewald will have a chance to answer back, but I'd say look out for the local guy and the local team as well. LJ Quick, they're looking to wrap up a championship today as well, and they're right there in the second row in Hungary.
You know what? Things change so fast here. You got to have luck on your side, and that's how quick it can change. Look underneath that track, gone on that DL Racing 29. Who knows what'll happen here? We're going to have about a 10-lap shootout here.
Yeah, a perfect example, a team that were right in it. They were among the most competitive teams that we saw today, and now the DL29 has retired that sled, unfortunately, with just a little over 10 laps to go.
There's a view of that outside bell just shredded on that. A lot of tracks today letting loose here, you know. Very expensive sport, and get to the final race here in the MIRA circuit, so you know, tough to put a new track on. You know, it's all coming to an end, but boy, they take such an abuse. You see all the carbide picks under there and on that DL Racing 29.
Town Brothers 2, the lucky stud again. They'll get the free pass. It'll be 9 laps to go next time around, and we're getting close to a green flag for what could be a final shootout.
It is going to be a dandy, boy, I'll tell you. That 28 machine has been strong all day. We know that 57 is Zack Dewald, very fast, but waiting right there. Also, that 67, who's going to get the victory here?
Here's one thing I know is we've had 4 races from the junior program already today. The first 3 of them were settled in the final corner, on the final straightaway, even maybe in some drag races. So if we have anything like the kind of finishes we've already had today in the MIRA Race Network presented by Alta Equipment, I think we are going to come away very, very happy from this season closing event in Lincoln.
Look at that snow coming down, Nate, but I think we're going to be okay here. We're going to get this one in. Let's hope it doesn't affect the visibility, because we are going to have one heck of a shootout here coming up.
Absolutely. Certainly worth the wait. Had to cancel things last week Sunday, and here we go. Nine laps remaining. The Harris 43 will roll off. Dakota, the one that jumps on the family-owned Polaris sled, and he will rejoin the action for a final single-digit sprint to the finish. Eric Churchill leads the way. Zack Dewald will be chasing him. And then look out for LJ Quick, the 3rd spot on the 67. The Kovar Pike 34, Tyler Town 4th, 5th place the Pichet Racing 13, with Colin Henderson right there in the mix as well. It will be 8 laps to go this time around at the line. Looks like we should be setting up possibly for a 7-lap shootout. 1 to go. It will be 7 laps, the shootout. Can Zack Dewald and that team go back-to-back? He's having to do it without James Hicks, who fell sick this week. They've subbed Larry Young Jr. in along with him, who certainly has run very well. Dewald trying to wrap up back-to-back wins. Will it be that 28 team going to victory lane? They picked up a podium in Kinross, a very emotional win for them at that point in time. But Eric Churchill's got a great chance to improve upon that even more and wind up on the top step of the podium, and keep an eye on that championship race, because LJ Quick in the 67 on he and the team's home track are right in the mix as well. 7 to go at the line. This is it for the MIRA season. Will this be the final sprint to the finish? Churchill has the field in his control. They look to Mark Jade for the signal and the flag. Let's go. Green flag back in the air, side by side. Good jump for Dewald. He sweeps around the outside to the lead. What a restart from Zack Dewald. Dewald down the backstretch, able to file in front of the 28 of Churchill. Third spot in line is Quick on the 67. That's the top three, and that's your podium for the time being. Churchill has made a move on the 57 already for the lead. He did it in lap traffic last time. Can he make it happen this time? 6 laps to go. Churchill doing everything he can to get by one of the best in the sport, Zack Dewald. Churchill is right there with him as well, staying right in the tracks of Dewald down the backstretch. It will be 5 laps to go at the line. Eric Churchill shaded just inside here, trying to make something happen, sweeping out of 4. Dewald was able to open the gap a little bit down the front stretch. At the line, the lead is 1.2 seconds as Churchill loses a bit more on the entry of 1. Churchill gonna have to start thinking about defending back now just as much as looking out the front, as LJ Quick is right there and coming as well. It'll be 4 laps to go at the line. Zack Dewald, great restart around the outside. You see him building the gap. Here comes LJ Quick for second. 4 laps to go at the line. The lead is 2 seconds for the Mickey's Factory Racing 57, so it's Zack Dewald out front by 2 seconds in front of Churchill and Quick. Eric Churchill, LJ Quick following just behind. You see the 34 of Tyler Town hanging out in case something happens with the 2 just in front of him, battling for the second spot. Zack Dewald in clean air, running away. 2.3 seconds the lead. It'll just be 3 laps to go here. Quick working the bars, trying to do anything he can to move up 1 more spot and all but guarantee that championship as well. They came in 58 points up on the 57 team. We'll have to wait for confirmation from MIRA for sure. 2 laps to go, but it looks like that 67 team with this top 3 finish on their way to a championship, but the Mickey's team looking for back-to-back wins to close their season. They had to sub Larry Young Jr. in for James Hicks, who was unable to make it today and get on that sled and form that dangerous duo with Zack Dewald. Young has filled in very, very nicely. The white flag is in the air. Eric Churchill second. LJ Quick is third. They all chase Zack Dewald. The reigning champions had an up and down start to the season, but what a finish. A dominant performance in Gaylord. They had some adversity today, but it didn't matter. Zack Dewald, Larry Young, drive to victory in Lincoln. Eric Churchill across the stripe in second. Third goes to LJ Quick. And the Who's Racing team, in all likelihood, will wait for that final confirmation, are champions of the 2025 MIRA season. But it's back-to-back wins for Zack Dewald. Mickey's Factory Racing. Larry Young joins him today, and they go to victory lane. What a finish to the season as he and the 67 have some congratulatory words. An impressive performance, up and down a couple of drives through the field from Dewald. And he made it happen on the final restart. He got a chance after he lost the lead in lap traffic. You see the emotion, and he was able to make it happen when he needed to. Goes around the outside on the restart. Fist bump with Cody Bauer, and Dewald drives back to victory lane with a terrific statement victory for the Mickey's Factory Polaris team. Dewald will come and collect his teammate on the front stretch here. How about the effort from Larry Young as well? Last minute gets drafted into the team. You see him there, the embrace between the two. And Young is able to do a terrific job partnering Dewald and take that 57 to victory lane. The Mickey's Factory Polaris back-to-back wins to close the season. You see our Spanky Robinson there congratulating them as well. If you're here on the facility, let them hear it. What a performance. Mickey's Factory Racing go back-to-back wins to close the season, and they win it in Lincoln and the Michigan Kenworth 250. What a job by those guys. What a performance as well. The 28 of Vermash and Churchill, they come up just second, but they come up with their second place finish of the season. They had the pole at Gaylord. Some big strides made by that team. Oh no, they lost the flag, but some big strides made by that team. The flag coming off the flag stick. Zach gonna have to turn it around and go back and pick that up. But the strides made by the 28 team this year, so impressive to watch that group grow. And then the Who's Racing 67, consistency, the model word for that team, and a championship level of consistency it's going to wind up being for the 2025 season, as that Who's Racing team started the year with a win and then never finished outside the top 5. Back-to-back podiums as well to finish the season for the Who's Racing 67, and on their home track, Carlson and Quick are able to come through with a great performance. They got the flag back, and the winners are going to work their way back down to the front stretch. We'll have our Spanky Robinson down there to have a word with the podium finishers, starting with this duo. Not necessarily the duo we normally expected, with James Hicks unfortunately off the sled with an illness this weekend, but how about an effort? Larry Young stepping right in along with Zack Dewald, who put in a classic Dewald effort on a weekend that we honored the incredible career of his father, Troy. Zach looking a lot like the old man with the kind of drive he put in once again today to pick up a back-to-back win to end this 2025 season. There's the flag. They worked their way down. Dewald and company to victory lane once again. The celebration will begin for that team as they work their way, or have worked their way back down onto the front stretch. So as that team will collect themselves, we'll be able to get it in just a moment on down to Spanky to have a word with Zach, Larry, and the winning 57 team, who go back-to-back to end this MIRA season. They'll get themselves set, and Spanky, whenever they're ready to go, we'll send it on down now to you to pick things up and get the interviews underway with the, once again, victorious Mickey's Factory Racing 57.
Zach's taking his helmet off.
Well, we're down here. Zach just getting the helmet off. Larry Young, victory celebration going on down here for the Felski Farms XLT Engineering Mickey's Factory said Polaris. Troy DeWalt down here, congratulatory hug to his son here. Good job, son, is what the words were here. That's awesome to see. I'll tell you what. We're going to get a word here with Zach when he gets a second here. And Larry Young, boy, that was one heck of a ride. Zach, I'll tell you what, man. We had some gremlins earlier, but you guys finished strong. A victory a week, 2 weeks ago. And then today, I'll tell you, that was a heck of a race. Talk about it.
Yeah, we sorted out some issues early in the season and got this thing running pretty good, and it held up today. And run good all day, and luckily we were able to stay out of trouble and keep it up front.
Tough luck today. James Hicks not able feeling a little bit ill. So you got this guy, Larry Young, to step on here. Larry, he's ran this sled before. You did a hell of a job. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Larry's been our third guy last few years at the Sioux. James called last night about 6, 7 o'clock and said he's just not up for it. He's been down in bed all week, and I'm hoping he's feeling better today. Hopefully this makes him feel better. But I called Larry last minute last night, and he drove down this morning and did a hell of a job, and can't thank him enough. Can't thank him, James, Mickey Sleds, Woody's Traction, XLT Engineering, Felski Farms, FXR, Alaska Underground, DHT, Romer Utilities, Flaggy Racing, the guys at Polaris. The list goes on, man. This is an awesome team. I can't thank everybody enough.
You talk about teamwork. It takes a team to go out here. You guys perfect today. Larry went out, kept it out of trouble. You got back on and just kept it up at the front all the time. What was it like? There was this lead. Everybody was challenging for the lead. There was 4 or 5 sleds. It was just an amazing race here. How tough was that?
Yeah, I got held up with some lappers there late in the race and just sort of my way through them, and it was hard to see. This snow was stuck to your goggles and your shield pretty tough when you got behind somebody. So you had to wipe the shield pretty often, or the goggles, whatever you had on, and I just sorted my way through. And Eric got around me there for a minute before that last restart, and luckily this thing restarts really good, and it's a rocket ship. So we got out front again and brought it home.
Final question for you. Today we honor your dad here, his last enduro race. What a day, and then you finish it off with a congratulatory way to go, son. Yep. That's an amazing deal. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everything he's taught me about this sport, man. I get emotional thinking about it, but seeing him hang his helmet up. But he'll do a little sprint racing, and he'll be on the headset from now on, so I'm glad to have him.
I got to get a word with this guy. Larry, what's it like to be in victory lane here with this team? I mean, you did a fantastic job today here. Talk about it, Larry.
Thank you. Yeah, I know these guys are great. They have very good equipment. Sled always works good. Zach's a good rider, and appreciate the call.
It's got to be tough for you. You don't run every week, and you got out here and you get on this machine. You did a fantastic job today. Obviously, when there's a game plan.
Yeah, the first run, definitely I could tell I haven't ran in a while. But second run went good. Yeah, sled works good. It's easy to drive, so that helps a lot.
Okay, Larry, go enjoy the win. We're going to get the trophy presentation here to the winning team here. Mickey's Factory Sled Polaris, Felsky Farms, Woody's on the side, XLT Engineering. How about it, race fans? Let's hear it for this team here, the champions here at the Kenworth 250.
All right, thanks, Spanky. He'll work his way on over here, hopefully to have a word with the Countryside and the Who's team quickly as well to wrap things up with the podium. An emotional win for Zack Dewald and company for sure that we are able to see right there as the celebration will continue on with back-to-back wins to close the season for that team. A strong performance as well for the 28 team, their second place finish of the year. Spanky, send it back down to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, A++ for effort. This team here, this Countryside Motorsports Polaris team, you were there all day in a battle, and you just about made it happen. That caution come out. You made the pass, that caution come out. Boy, talk about it. Had to be tough.
Yeah, I definitely didn't need it. I had a pretty good line going, and then on that restart, I just couldn't keep the sled down out of the snow and just kept going up there and losing ground, and Zach just checked out, and I had nothing for him.
You guys drove the skis off this thing, let's say, here today. I'll tell you, this thing was fast all day. It was just a heated battle with 4 or 5 sleds all the time. It had to be tough out there, and never knowing who. Everybody just waiting to make the pass.
Yeah, there was probably 6 guys that were right there and the same speed, and you just kind of held with them. This is tough to get a good line to pass. There was only about 1 line running around there.
There's obviously some people that need to be thanked and mentioned on this sled here. Talk about a few of the sponsors and some people, the crew and everybody that it's such a team here effort. Talk about it a little bit.
First off, I got to thank Joel Feebeck, Countryside Transportation. They've just been awesome to us. We get the best of the best with this. Got to thank my dad building the sled, all the guys that work on them every week. Russell Boys for letting us use their garage to work out of. Michigan Kenworth, Stacks, Polaris, Woody's. They've been huge this year. Just been a lot of support, and it's showing.
Well, a fantastic race day, boys. Congratulations. Second place here, the Countryside Motorsports, number 28.
And what incredible growth from that team this year. Another podium finish for that group and a really, really impressive run on the whole as the duo from Ashton Churchill once again put together a great finish. The Who's team What a consistent year they had, start to finish. Start of the win, they found themselves on the podium time and time again. A championship-level performance from them all year long, and Spanky is down with LJ
Third
and
place
Jordan.
here today, but, man, that was a heated battle between 5 sleds. Who was going to get the victory lane here today?
Absolutely. It was a lot of fast sleds here today, and just managed to poke our way to the front and finish on the podium. That's good. That's what we wanted to do. So consistency.
You guys took your turn of leading the race and getting right there and battling. Obviously, some people need to be mentioned in this effort here. Such a big team, this Hoos race team.
Absolutely. Nice Power Sports or Motorsports, Precision Logistics, Woody's, Polaris, McKellen, Renzi Power Sports, Fitzpatrick's Hardware, everybody, the Mountain Inn, everybody. Can't do it without you guys. We love you, and we appreciate the help.
Well, you've had a solid year. I don't know if it's official, the points, where it'll all be. I'm not exactly sure, but you guys have had a solid season, 1 victory, and this here finish here. Talk about the team. It's ran well all year.
Yeah, it's like a big family. We look forward to coming to the race every weekend, and if it wasn't for these guys, we would not be here. I mean, they bust their butt day in and day out, and truly is a great group of people to be with every weekend, and we're here. We're coming. We're here to stay, and it's going to be fun next year.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a heck of an effort here. A 3rd place finish. The Hoos race, number 67. How about it, race fans? What a great day here at Lincoln.
All right,
Back
thanks.
up to
All right, thanks, Spanky. Yes, great work down there. Great to hear from everyone. What a race this one was, and what a season it was here on the MIRA Race Network, presented by Alta Equipment. First off, as we wrap this up, once again, congratulations to the 57 team for going back to victory lane here today, but a season of thank yous as well that we have to give, along with some of our staff that I'll get to in a minute. First off, huge thank you to Ty McNeil of McNeil Motorsports and Hoos Racing for repairing a critical camera platform support for us earlier in the year. And then everyone that built these different tracks, Jim and LJ Quick, Tim and Austin Leak, Jim DeRochers and his group here at Lincoln, Andy, Dave, and Mark Doobie at Gaylord for their incredible work on that Gaylord track. And then at Kinross, Kaiser Construction, Chris Pichet, Stephen Ray Johnson, Mike Lee, Jordan Gaskin, Henry Palmer Jr., Chris Hank, and Eric Fountain did an incredible work on that facility as well. And all season long, we've thanked them a couple times. Once again, a huge thank you to Joel Fiebig from Countryside Transportation for the use of their Countryside production trailer. That certainly makes our job that much easier to have this sort of incredible facility to work out of. Thanks to Scott from Michigan Snowmobile and ORV Magazine, and of course to Charlie Wiltsey for his support and leadership and dedication to the MIRA Race Network. What a season it's been. And once again, thanks to all the guys all season long that were with us on the cameras this weekend. Scott Pieper, John Setkowiak, Chuck Couch, Taya Kensa helped out as well down in the pits today with Chris Reams, who did an incredible job running the pit cam, running around, grabbing interviews for us as well. Of course, Spanky Robinson up here, what an effort he always does with his insight and what he's able to help provide us. Our network director, Kevin Streeter, executive producer, J.D. Hawk, audio tech, Joe Kennedy. What an incredible job they've done all season long to keep us on the air, work through some issues when we've had them, and help make this the production that it has been all season long. All right, my name is Nate Dreyer, and we do thank you for tuning in all year long to the MIRA Race Network presented by Alta Equipment. Congratulations to the 57 team for going back to victory lane. What a season it's been. Cannot wait to do it all again. We'll see everyone next year right back here on the MIRA Race Network.